We are live.
I can tell because the first thing I saw was you just like jiggling on the screen.
I was awaiting my jiggling
dashboard.
response of my face
The jiggling response of your face.
in real time. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everybody. It is podcast time.
It's time for a podcast.
It's time.
Time for
It's
an
time.
update.
Update?
I don't know. That makes it sound like we have news.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that word.
Yeah.
I don't want to have an update.
Yeah, let's have an update.
No, let's
Family
not have
meeting,
an update.
everybody.
Nope. Family meeting. We're also trying to stop killing James. Okay. Who's trying to kill James? What did James do?
What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
Oh.
Stop killing James.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. How was your weekend, man?
It was good. Oh my God. I took Friday off except for a couple of morning, like 8 a.m. posts. It was freaking weird, man. Felt like I've been gone forever.
It's the longest break we've had since we started the retro streams.
Well, yeah, I guess from streaming, right? But in terms of just like days of the week, man, like our travel was on weekends. Often when we were doing the videography work, like I don't think I've had a 3-day weekend since Christmas.
Trying to think.
Maybe did we do like Labor Day?
There was
no,
Memorial Day.
No, we did Patron's Choice that day. Granted, we did find blueprints. So, romance flowed and it was a beautiful thing. And I'm okay with that, that chance I took.
We did find that. Yes. Yeah, you're right. We did stream on Memorial Day. I went away, so I counted it. I counted it as a break.
You came back. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good time. Cool, man. I'm happy for it. I had a good weekend. I saw some grinding gear community members at Epcot on Saturday.
Oh, you made the meetup. Nice. How is everybody?
Yeah, it went. Yeah,
sounds
everyone's
great.
good.
Awesome.
Everyone's good. Had a good time. Everyone didn't want to stay too long at Epcot, which was wonderful because I've been to Epcot too much recently. Oh no, I know, right? Just feel bad for me. But
so you're happy to get out of there on time?
Yeah. It's we had a great dinner. Went back to Susuru, had the izakaya, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
It was great. It was wonderful. It was delicious.
We popped open a Sam's Club bag of hot dogs and just like let the boys graze all weekend. So we got Chinese food on Saturday. So we kept it as free as we could. I'm honestly looking better than I did yesterday. I went to the pool for 3 hours yesterday with little man. He just 5-year-old was like, I want to go to the pool. Everyone's asleep but me. Yeah. Not so bad anymore. I'm looking okay. I've recovered. I've got some of that going on there. Oh, geez.
Ooh, the red shirt is not helping.
You can see where I wore the tank top and I was going as fast as possible because both the littles went down and he was like, let's go, Dad, go. And I'm like, tank top. A mistake. The tank top wore off some of the, the bits, but oh my God. Yeah, I haven't been I haven't been in a pool for 3 straight hours since I was 14. I
do it every summer. When we go to Key West, which we're going to in a week and a half, there's definitely times where I'm in a pool for 3 hours. It happens.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a wholesome.
I finally saw Sinners.
Oh yeah, how was it?
I watched Sinners. It was goddamn incredible.
Yeah,
it's an
was that
impeccably
good?
made film.
It's
my
vampires,
God.
right?
Yeah, I think that's well known.
With extra steps.
I think that's well known. It's kind of I would describe it as it's very From Dusk Till Dawny. It's
sweet.
It's half something completely unrelated to vampires, and then vampires show up.
Oh, so it's a nice little bait and switch where they just kind of go, and we're fantastical from here on out.
Yeah, I mean it was advertised in a certain way, and they do tie it into the lore of their world. The beginning opens with some very blatant in your face mysticism, and they talk about. Also, it's a musical in a way that I wasn't expecting it to be.
What the shit?
Yeah,
no, I don't remember hearing that ever.
It is an absolute love letter to blues music. The music in this movie is exceptional. It is actually exceptional. It made me think of so many things. It's you probably didn't grow up watching guitar movies, so you probably haven't seen Crossroads.
No, I wouldn't. There's only one Crossroads, and we argued about Wolverine.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure you it's the Crossroads movie is a spin on The Devil Went Down to Georgia, but instead of a fiddle battle, it's a guitar solo battle.
Okay.
It's a cult classic. If you get into learning guitar, at some point someone's gonna be like, "Oh, you should watch Crossroads. You should watch Crossroads. You're getting into guitar," because that is a very famous guitar solo scene. But yeah. I would say Sinners is part The Thing, part From Dusk Till Dawn, and just an infinitely better version of Crossroads in my opinion. It's got similar themes, even though it doesn't have like a literal fiddle off or
that is
guitar
quite the.
off.
Where can I watch this? Did you watch it on Prime or Max?
It's on HBO right now.
Okay,
yeah, Max, whatever they're calling it now. It's going back to HBO Max at some point. They haven't finished that name reversion.
Okay,
but yeah. Yeah, I thought Crossroads was that Britney Spears road trip movie. That is also technically a movie called Crossroads, but not the Crossroads that most people think of when you say Crossroads. But apparently you're not most people, Scrambles, and hey, you're unique. Congrats. Yeah, you should watch it. It's really freaking good. I don't know if you'll like it.
No?
But you should watch it.
I mean, I do like these kind of movies.
I don't know. There's cool lore, and but the first half is like exceptionally just good character focused drama. We have our own video project. It's not modern. We're watching Inu Yasha right now, so that's our fall asleep on our faces. I've never seen Inu Yasha.
It's fun. It has the
he's a cat or a fox.
He's a dog man. Yeah, he's a dog.
Okay.
The Inu.
How could I ever make that mistake?
Well, yeah, the Inu and the Inu Yasha is the giveaway, but yeah.
I don't speak
He sniffs
Japanese.
the ground a lot, so he does act like a dog. I think his brother might be a fox, but I'm not entirely sure. He's got a big tail for a dog, but some dogs have big tails. No, I remember watching all the first season on Adult Swim while raiding Gruel's lair. Excuse me, I butchered that entire sentence. Re-record
it again from the top.
I watched the entire first season when I was raiding Gruel's lair in BC, and then it just reset it back to the beginning. I was kind of pissed off, and I never watched it. But now I'm going to rewatch it and then just do a watch guide for the second season to finish it out for funsies. It's cozy.
That's how it goes.
It's by the same writer as Ranma. So we're kind of on a Ranma kick, and we're just flowing right into that.
I can see the similarity. I would call Inuyasha style a little more modern in how it's drawn compared to Ranma.
Well, it was after it, yeah, but you can still kind of see like the style interpretation and how that kind of art lines up. But that's been cozy. We'll talk about Magic the Gathering on the show because holy crap, that was the majority of my weekend.
Eventually, I finished the new season of The Bear. That was really good. One of the better seasons, in my opinion, of a show that I already really enjoy. Kyle would hate that show. It is so beautiful and moving and just makes you think about life.
I think about life 24/7. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need that.
Yeah. But yeah,
I was playing.
Everyone should watch The Bear. Everyone should go watch Sinners. I was hoping I would see Jurassic Park, but I didn't have time this weekend.
I was actually in the pool going on like hour 3, and a private jet flew over. And I actually had one of those English teacher moments. I'm throwing my son, and all I could think was Kyle threw his son for the 25th time. And he thought to himself, who's up there? What kind of life do they lead? Do they have their own stresses? So
how's that an English teacher moment?
Well, because, I had an inner dialogue moment of a plane flying overhead of a private jet, and I was down in a pool. Yeah.
English teachers don't have the lockdown on inner dialogue.
But they know about like interpretation and stuff.
I just think it's horribly non-specific to attribute that to English teachers. But yeah, whatever. They
call attention to it. They call attention.
Not enough for an on-stream argument.
We'll have an off-stream argument about that.
We can have an off-stream. No, we'll just go play Night Rain.
That sounds good. I like the sound of that. Yeah, let's not mess around with that.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, before we get into the meat of it, we as always want to thank all of you supporting us over on our Patreon. You can find it at supportourbromance.com. You can sign up, get yourself all kinds of perks like access to our members only channels and the Discord, and bonus releases and all that kind of stuff. Also, you're not hearing this right now if you support us on Patreon, because that noise is a space bar being hit, so I can mark it very easily. Cut this out. But yeah, thanks for the support, everybody. Support at bromance.com. It's just send you to patreon.com/Garrett and Kyle. It's a Patreon. That's how you support us. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. We hope you appreciate us. And I'm going to be completely honest, I don't appreciate the news this week, but we got to talk about it.
Good. Oh, great news, everyone. Shove it.
Yeah. More on the shove it side of it this time. I distinctly remember, I can't remember what happened.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember a time where we were so furious about Hearthstone. Something shitty was going down. I think there were some layoffs. Oh, it was the Blitzchung drama. Now I remember.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember that.
And because on the podcast I used to do called The Angry Chicken, we had the news bumper had good news, everyone. And it was a slightly different variation. Actually, this news bumper is a little bit of a wink and a nod to that because it was one of my favorite bumpers, and I didn't even make the damn thing, but I do love Futurama. Anyway, I went and found, because there's an episode of Futurama where Mr. Professor Farnsworth goes, "Terrible news, everyone," and I put that in instead, and I didn't warn anybody, including my co-host. And I remember some from the Hearthstone team being like, "It really that really hit." Hearing that changed out.
No.
Yeah, I won't say who it was, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
they were probably hoping for some good news, I guess,
Yeah. Well,
better than bait and switch. So well done. At least you're honest.
Anyway, the gaming news kind of sucks this week. We're at the beginning of the week here on the second week of July. We're coming hot off the heels of an absolute ton of layoffs over on the Microsoft side of things, which if you keep up with the news, layoffs at Microsoft was seen. We saw it coming. A lot of people were reporting that it was coming down the pipeline, despite the fact that they are experiencing record profits. But that's the world we live in. That doesn't mean shit. You can succeed and still experience layoffs. Hooray. But what was not, it was assuming that the Xbox division would escape mostly unharmed. And that appears to have been drastically incorrect, because just tons of layoffs at various Microsoft-owned gaming studios, publishers, and what have you. So we're going to talk about that. I see there's some stuff about Expedition 33 in the top 100 games of the 21st century that you added in here too, Kyle. Might talk about that as well. But we're going to start with me asking you, why in God's name did you force me to learn about more drama born out of World of Warcraft? I don't want to know who Pirate Software is, and because of you, now I have to. It's your fault. Damn you.
Oh, they thank the algorithm too. No, this was
there is nothing in this world I need less than more random people on the internet that I don't care about that are famous for pissing people off in World of Warcraft.
Well, hang on now. This one has a happy ending.
Maybe.
We're talking about stop
There's
killing
still not
games.
an ending.
Yeah, it's an ongoing story. It's an ongoing story for sure. It is if you haven't heard about this, it's everywhere right now. And
I hadn't heard about it.
No,
but now
it is everywhere. Oh my God, it's everywhere. So let's be as brief as possible just to get anybody caught up who might not be in the know about what's going on with Stop Killing Games, because it's so easy to misunderstand. It is insanely easy to misrepresent. And once you know some of the stuff, it's easy to not care. But you should care, because it might all work out well. Like it did with the old charge cable for the iPhone. Remember the charge cable for the iPhone, Garrett?
I'm going to be completely honest with you, my dude. Them switching to USB-C actually pissed me off, because I don't have any USB-Cs and I didn't want to fucking buy USB-Cs. So European Union, kiss my ass.
You were so deep you didn't even know, man. You're so deep.
Do you know how long
down the rabbit hole
connector? Do you have any idea?
You didn't even know.
There's like 3 in any given glove box in our family.
Well,
but now there's none.
You know, you can go on Amazon and just buy like a pack of 10 for like, $10, right? Like,
You know what I had to do before? I didn't have to buy anything.
Because
I didn't have to
it came
spend
with
any money.
because you bought a new iPhone every year. You had so many of the old cables laying around, you didn't have to worry
Not
about
every
it.
year, but I actually tend to let my iPhones go until they barely power on anymore.
I can understand that. Yeah, no, you looked out the window and you saw a new cable come and you're like, what's wrong with my cable? Well, it was an anti-consumer practice to make a cable that could only be used on your device. For me, it just gave birth to those weird machines that were everywhere. So you could charge your phone with like
Weird machines?
Yeah, you insert $2.
You're talking about the battery rentals?
Yeah, like
places?
those. Yeah, the
And
little
now
like.
there's like a unified brand and you can buy their specific things, so you can just rent the locker.
You open up the little door and you put it in. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah,
It's messy.
it's just absolute.
Well, the
it's so
European commissions are responsible for the USBC update, and there is the Stop Killing Games initiative that was looking for signatures. It wasn't going anywhere. The idea being that there should be a sunsetting process to ending a game. If you have a multiplayer game, your final patch, and this is a massive simplification, please do your own looking up of all this, figure out what it is for yourselves, because I'm going to simplify for the sake of the show. It is so easy to misinterpret this because this is EU, and that's part of the misinterpretation that's going on. However, there should be a process for consumer protection when a game is being shut down that makes the game safe to play. Easy to play. If it's a multiplayer game, maybe that's creating a way you can play single player. Maybe that's a way you can make your own server, host your own server, make your computer the server. Something should be done for the product that you yourself have bought to protect that product from just being nothing, from them stealing from you with 3 years in between the purchase and the eventual shutdown.
Which they would argue isn't stealing, because when you buy a game or you install a game, you tend to agree to a EULA, and a lot of times in modern day, unfortunately, you are agreeing to the fact that you do not own the game. You are actually purchasing a license to play the game, a license that they can revoke whenever they see fit. That is unfortunately the modern state of gaming, which I believe most of us think is complete BS. Apparently there's some people who want to go to bat for that, but those people are getting raked over the coals.
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah, they are. And a lot of it is willful ignoring of the facts. In particular, Accursed Farms, Roscott has done an absolute amazing job of being in the comments of every single video about this to tell every single misinterpretation you may have had about what's going on here.
Yeah. So Roscott is the individual behind the Stop Killing Games movement. Has a YouTube video or YouTube channel called Accursed Farms. You can go there and see Roscott represent himself and explain all of this to you. There's also a website at stopkillinggames.com. There's the link, or the links and the shoutouts out of the way. Where, by the way, they are still accepting signatures as we speak over at stopkillinggames.com. And this is where I come in, because, oh boy, dude, there's no faster way for me to go. That's nice than hearing about a petition.
Yes, but that's your American brain.
Yes, I'm getting there. Let me
because I didn't care either. I was right there with you.
The Zack Snyder fans have ruined any interest I ever pay to a petition being signed. I'm like, cool, this is going to do nothing. Thank you for wasting my time. This is not one of those. This is an EU-specific petition, and in the EU, regulators are required to respond if 1 million signatures are reached. Now, the wrinkle with this, I believe, is that 1 million signatures has been reached, but a lot of them are found to be fraudulent, either signed by non-EU citizens through
people got excited,
abuse of VPNs and other things, or people faking signatures and all that kind of stuff. So I believe they are now pushing for 1.4 million to try and account for. Well, I don't know what you would call that, but
it's the reality of it. Yeah, Roscott has found himself in the deep end with all this, in that he realizes that some people can't fill out a form correctly. And that basically nullifies 30% of signatures that you can hope, because this is going to go through actual review. Like once Once you have massed the signatures, you submit it to the European Commission, and then they go through and make sure all the people are real and make sure they actually filled out the form correctly. So you want to have about 40% more than the signatures that you need so that as they get nullified, they're out. And then you have people that are like, amazing idea. I hate so-and-so streamer who got this wrong. I'm going to go sign in the US. Well, no, that's actually an offense and you can go to jail for that because this isn't a change.org. This isn't your let's change a movie random internet thing. This is an actual legal document that you are participating in. So you can't forge extra signatures. You can't put your name on it if you're outside the EU. And so a lot of these names that he's gotten for it just don't exist or aren't going to be part of the movement when it hopefully actually reaches the European Commission. And should that happen, the idea being that when a game is announced, if it's going to be a live service game, they have to include some sort of documentation that says, hey, we're a massive multiplayer online, but should we choose to terminate the game, here's the steps we're going to do to leave the server on, which is not what he's asking for. And that's one of the other big misrepresentations that have gone on here because that's expensive. You can't expect every company to just say, and we'll pay for our servers forever. No, but you have to supply some sort of way it can be played into the infinite.
Yes. And also that's like part of the response from the European Commission, right? Like they can also just respond like, we don't agree.
Yeah.
It's from what I've been reading.
Yes, so. But they do have to respond should he get the right number of signatures and they're deemed real.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And so, yeah, I don't know. I ended up doing a ton of reading about this. And I guess what got a lot of people who are involved in, consuming streamers all fired up was that a WoW streamer that goes by Pirate Software opposed this at a point where it looked like it was going to die.
Yeah, it was basically dead in the water.
Yeah,
for the exact reasons we just listed.
Royally pissed off a lot of people and has now seemingly been the focal point for what looks like impending victory of this movement.
People rallied behind someone who had deeply misunderstood the movement and was known to double down when they were wrong. And the double down happened, which caused exposure to the incident. It's also the summer, so there's not a lot of video game news going on around. So, it was pretty much an entertainment topic for many over the past weekend. Everyone's making a video about this. It's absolutely everywhere. In terms of YouTube, it's not going to be on HBO Max. It won't be there with your Sinners and The Bear you watched this weekend, but it's everywhere on YouTube.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I like it. I like the idea. I don't necessarily have an immediate game that comes to mind with this. I feel fortunate that I can still play Heroes of the Storm. For a live service company, it's often very bad news to fully shut down a game because everything else beyond that is suspect for all time, and you're not going to sell those live service games. But you're familiar with some racing games, and apparently this has been a big factor in those.
Yeah, I mean, racing games get sometimes they get shut off. Other times they're just not. They no longer are sold, but you can still play the damn thing. Like it is really hard, for example, to go and purchase legally a copy of old Need for Speed games, and usually that comes down to music licensing. Music licensing is an absolute massive pain in the ass, and the licensing deals are not forever. They're not in perpetuity. So after usually a long time, but still a time that you and I have lived long enough to see come to an end, they just stop selling games. I think a lot of the old Tony Hawk games are also a similar thing, and the re-releases of those coming out with mostly the original soundtracks intact, but licensing can cause all kinds of issues. But yeah, no, that's one of the things that was interesting about this. Just like so many little wrinkles in this. I'm not sure I want to scold the internet, but I just want to admit that I'm really just tired by the internet. That this is a personal note. I'm personally annoyed that I didn't at an earlier point look more into this. I wrote it off because I heard we're mad at you because of WoW guy was involved. I'm just like, okay, it's stupid WoW drama. I don't care. I've lived through enough stupid WoW drama in my life. I don't.
You basically had 2 exit
When
points.
I hear it's around streamer drama, I assume it is actually not very important. Because a lot of times it's not. But yeah, this is only like tangentially related to streamer drama. So yeah. But when I actually went digging and like, I'm like, okay, well, where the hell did Stop Killing Games even start? Like, what was the inciting incident? It was Ubisoft's racing game, The Crew, being shut down. Which is probably, if you are arguing about this, probably both sides of the argument. So I loved The Crew. It was a surprisingly fresh take on the racing genre. Really cool game. And just freaking I didn't know it was shut down. so like I haven't gone digging into the naysayers. But I would imagine if you were against this, you'd probably be saying it's probably something along the lines of who cares? Like, if no one's playing this game, who cares if it goes away? And so I loved The Crew, but I also didn't know it got shut down. So, but that's now fascinating to me, that was the inciting incident, because that game was really freaking cool.
Well, and this isn't, directly tied to this particular initiative at the moment, but it does have its tendrils, hopeful reverberations, and all sorts of weird shit that's happened. Like with when we were playing Monster Hunter, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, the Assassin's Creed glam, that was badass," and then they took it away because the licensing ran out. Like, they did a whole event, they got a whole cool costume, and the game was like, "Okay, we're no longer friends with them." Money exchange hands, it's over. No one can dress up anymore. There's some weird stuff.
Well, all licensing, like legal concerns, are always strange and hyper specific, and every single deal is different. I mean, that's just how it's just how licensing functions. But not all of this is licensing. There's tons of games that have been shut off. You and I know this from MMOs, but this goes past that. I mean, The Crew wasn't an MMO. It was a racing game.
Yeah, and if you start to think about like the logistics of it, it can get a little muddy, because you go, well, what's the point of playing an MMO by myself? Like, why would I want that product to continue? And actually, Anthem, I think, is my favorite example right now. Anthem just announced the EA, Anthem.
Yeah, I think it's a bad example because that game sucks ass.
No, it's a great example because it did something amazing, and that was flying. And if you think about it from an artistic creation, that someone should be able to experience that made by human beings, that should be preserved. And you should be able to maybe not shoot anything because that wasn't worth it, but
that's
to go
an
fly
interesting
around,
thought.
Just like put it in a museum and say, people once flew like Iron Man and it was pretty sick. Not very high.
So this is where the debate, I think, can be fun. I'm going to debate you on that. The flying actually sucked absolute ass at release. The cooldown mechanic was so restrictive, you couldn't really have a lot of fun with it. They did make that better over time. So which part should they preserve, Kyle?
Well, I think you have to, just like WoW Classic, you have to sit down and you have to say, when was our best? And that should be in well, I guess the plan would have to be adapted at that point, right? You're not going to know the whole plan. It's like a prenup, right? You need to sign a prenup when you buy a game. And that's going to change over time. Trust builds, life changes, come and go, ships in the night. But, you still, should protect yourself. And if they're like, we will allow on release, if this was a consumer protected object, they could say, we will allow Anthem to be played single player on the final patch. And then on the final patch, when they're updating, they're like, and we'll do it with the current flying as it exists today. By the way, I didn't care about the cooldown so much. It was just that you couldn't fly very high. That was super lame. I hated the height limit, which kept you in the canyon.
Yeah,
you have to put limits. You have to put limits on it.
I'm already being misunderstood by chatters saying if it sucks or it did, if it sucked or if it doesn't suck, it doesn't matter. That's not the point I'm making. I'm saying if you're trying to get people on board for this movement, use a game people liked, like The Crew. Don't use Anthem. Like, it should apply to everything. I'm saying you shouldn't sell it. We're arguing the marketing of the Stop Killing Games movement. If you're the first foot forward you're going to put is one of the most like critically panned releases of the last decade, it's probably not the best way to go. You should use games that people actually like City of Heroes,
that's
like Matrix Online,
that's
like The Crew.
Yes.
You have plenty of good examples.
Yes, that is happenstance. That the Anthem is even part of this conversation because that news just came out recently,
Yes,
July 3rd.
It's a serendipitous timing. I'm not going to say perfect timing.
But it was a game I was very excited for. It was one that I loved my flippy little interceptor, whatever it was. Like, I really tried to like Anthem. And in a museum of my mind, in the archives of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Like doorway system, Anthem would be in there on a display. As here's where I learned disappointment. But I think it should be preserved in that way.
Definitely learned disappointment before that. And you can still play it. It's called Star Wars The Force Unleashed.
Wait, there's all kinds of different disappointment. This was BioWare-based disappointment.
Yes. Yeah.
It's...
I would really like this to go through. I would really like it to be successful. I'm really pulling for it. It like I think about so many things, and I guess it wouldn't apply to something like World of Warcraft, but my brain goes there because I think about how badly I wish they had kept, vanilla BC Wrath servers intact. I still feel that way because I still can't believe they overwrote BC Classic and Wrath Classic to release Cataclysm Classic. I'm like, but wait, I want to go back and play Wrath. Like that's the whole thing we were fixing, Kyle, was that I can't go back and play Wrath legally. But this wouldn't fall under that because the game is still technically playable. It's just changed drastically from multiple points in its history.
Right, and just the human factor of, oh God, we have a release date. Just use the system we have. Keep updating. Keep adding on top. I mean, that is what Spaghetti's about. Something about Spaghetti Bridge I was learning about recently.
Spaghetti Bridge?
It's not really about the spaghetti in the code. It's about the bridges of spaghetti you make that cause the big issues. So imagine you want to eat the tasty mashed potatoes on the other side of the spaghetti. So you build a bridge out of green beans to reach under the spaghetti and get those mashed potatoes. If we're using food analogies, apparently. I don't know why you can't go over the top of it. I'm not a programmer.
I love that for you. This would be a good thing. It's a good thing. There's all kinds of things that go around in my head. Like, I don't know. It's like, would you be less inclined to swing for the online fences, knowing that you'd have to find a way to keep this damn thing alive?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know, like, in the case of Concord, if you would have to announce ahead of time that if it doesn't do well, we will refund you. Like, what happens if they turn it off really quickly? Is that... Because that was a whole thing that the actual dispensers did. Like Sony was paying the refunds, right? In that case, it wasn't the company. You could get a refund, and like when you get a refund from
I can't remember. I mean, it's got to impact the publisher down the line, doesn't it?
Exactly. So
it's not who gave you your actual refund.
So do you have stages of sunsetting where, like, when you buy the game, you get a big booklet of all the various steps. If this fails within 2 weeks, you're going to get your money back? How does that work?
I mean, that likely would be hashed out between the European Commission and game developers.
Right. And then what actually sells
in that 6 month period, if they shut, they shut signatures off and verify 1 million signatures. And then starts the countdown for 6 months, up to a 6 month wait for an actual reply from the European Commission. No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The part of the simplest part in my head is like, if this just makes it so that more developers and publishers consider private servers, then cool. Like even if it's just a fallback
Well, if it makes you consider too the longevity of your product and not winging it with an audience's dollar being the investment. I think that's all pretty good. Honestly, I walked away from all this just being like, this is one of the first times I feel like it's been treated like art, like Patreon and Kickstarter. Like that's a patron of the arts. You were a rich Roman whatever, and you just wanted that guy to paint for as long as he could in your basement. Like, I'll pay for all his food and his housing. Just keep painting, man. Like that's really cool. And I got a little, I get a little misty eyed, as crazy as it might sound about the idea of preserving Anthem.
It would definitely be a better future to live in.
That's nice.
Because as I was reading all this, I couldn't stop thinking about theme parks, dude, the whole time I was reading this.
Oh yeah, that's a whole spaghetti code.
If you're not a Disney adult, there's a ton of changes coming down the pipeline at Disney that not everyone is super stoked about. But like current concerns about like Disney parks aside, like every park you can think of has gone through massive changes over the years. And if you grew up going to them, you probably long for the ability to return to the state of the park of your youth, but that's just straight up impossible. But they're literally, what you're buying when you visit a theme park is like a day to go visit that park. And when that day is over, they kick you out and you don't get to go back until you pay again. There's other options like multi-day passes and annual passes and all that kind of shit, but you're paying for the privilege to access the park for as long as you paid to access it. And that's kind of what we've got with the modern games. The assumption is that you have access to it for a lot longer, but they can revoke that access whenever they see fit, and it's getting old. And I certainly feel that it's been abused.
Well, I think the magic of streaming is worn off too. And that's a big part of this. Like just the wake up of it. Yeah, the magic, not live streaming. Like, I'm going to watch Jurassic Park on Netflix, like, all right. And then you come back a month later,
even that,
can
though,
I rewatch
like
Netflix?
People are getting exhausted by that. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For multiple reasons. There's too many damn options. Like it costs more than cable if you want all of them now. You're getting ads unless you pay through the teeth. Some of them make you pay even more to even like make it look good on your modern TV. The cost to actually have Netflix run at 4K with no ads is absurd now. And shit is just coming and going constantly. Like, and some of them, God, like the shit like going on with like Disney pulling off like the Willow show. They made it. They own it. There's no licensing there to fight with. It's theirs. And they just took it off to save a few pennies on storage space. The future's stupid, man.
Well, yeah, but that's also why I feel like this is working, because we're motivated now to own things.
Yes.
And why we want to, hold real cards on our board game night and get away from the computer and all that kind of thing. Streaming is a very big part of this. And it's...
I have purchased more DVDs, very specifically UHDs, in the past year than I probably did in like 2007. Like, I'm so over it. I've got like, I think maybe 3 streaming subs rolling right now. And if I add anything, I turn something else off. Like it's as lean as it's ever been. So I'm just like, what's the point? They never have what I want to watch.
Yeah,
except for Sinners. Not sponsored, but you should go watch.
Sometimes it lines up, and do you want to own Sinner? Like there's all kinds of like rental. Yeah, that's a rental. It's no longer in the grocery store, but you pay $11 and you watch 3 movies, and you probably weren't going to own them anyway, or they're not something you want to watch with any frequency. But then you might actually go out and purchase that because that feels good nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. Part of me is like, is this just my old man thing? Like, I'm starting to get back into like retro gaming, and I'm wanting to actually track down, either get my old consoles that I still have working or track down replacements for them. And part of me is like, oh, it's just my old man thing. I'm just going to be, not a boomer, but the elder millennial, just like, grandpa's playing his PS2 again.
Got his hobbies.
He's on eBay looking for another memory card because the third one now bit the dust. Actually, I think my original memory card still works, but the point being, but then like, yeah, you see shit like this and you're like, oh, okay, cool. All right. People are finally like trying to affect change, saying enough of is enough, standing up for their, not even just their hobby, but their purchases and the shit that they spend their hard-earned cash on. And it's good to see.
Yeah.
So my point is, I learned something, Kyle. It doesn't matter how we got here.
Nope.
Or how much it annoys me. I'm simply glad we got here.
Yeah, I feel for Roscott. It is so easy to misinterpret this entire thing, particularly being American and change.org and all that kind of thing. It's so easy to see this coming down. And
that's the first just non-starter, right? Is like, I think a lot of us, at least in the States, are kind of conditioned to just be like, oh, petitions never go anywhere. As I was going through it, there's tons of videos on this now, and the one that came across my algorithm was that Ludwig guy. I was laughing my ass off as he was trying to explain this. He's like, how this works in EU is they can actually do a petition. In the States, they just make bills that nobody wants and they get passed anyway.
I mean, I started I started a petition on the bus. I started a petition in my high school. I what's that called? Debate club. I was in debate club. So of course I started petitions.
Oh yeah. Well, some might say that conditioned you to think that it actually makes a difference in the States, when sadly at scale it tends to not.
And we went to a courthouse and the state capitol and had a formal debate in front of real judges, or so there was a whole competition with it. I don't really remember anymore. It was so many years ago. We've been playing Final Fantasy 2 and people are like, oh my God, Kyle, that was in Final Fantasy 10. Don't you remember? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sorry. Those memories are 22 years old. I can feel my body aging sometimes. I can feel college disappearing. That's the weirdest part, is I can feel college just eroding.
I had a big, someone stepped on my grave feeling the other day, and I'm just realizing that Katie and I have been in this house longer than the starter home that we rented. That was insane. And then I was like, wait, also we were in the starter home that we rented longer than we had initially dated. I just had this this realization that the me you all know, the me you have met on the internet, has been happening and going on longer than all of what I would organize as previous me's. It's terrifying. It's not bad. My 30s are way better than my 20s. Full stop. But there's still just those moments where you're just like, wow, time marches on.
5-year-old's going to school this year. Holy shit. Let's talk about
the year is insert year here to do the joke is the year is so and so, and I'm watching hundreds of Blizzard employees be laid off. Because the year is 2025, and I'm watching thousands of Microsoft employees, including countless among gaming studios, get laid off. Which, speaking of killing games, Forza Motorsport is dead as a result of this.
Was that an upcoming game, or
there are two types of Forza, is what you need to understand. So
okay.
Forza Motorsport was the Xbox competitor to Gran Turismo. They're the very famous sim. I would call it a sim light PlayStation series. Gran Turismo, very famous racing series. Extremely realistic if you're used to arcade games. Realistic enough if you're hardcore into racing sims. Forza Motorsports was the competitor to that. That was Xbox exclusive. And they've made quite a few of those. And then somewhere down the line, they started making Forza Horizon, which are their open world racing games that are a little more bombastic, arcadey, and fun, but still use real cars. So there's been just an absolute ton of layoffs as a result of these Microsoft layoffs that happened last week. I believe over 9,000 employees were let go as a result of all of this. And so I wanted to bring it up. We'd be here all day if I mentioned every single company and team that was affected. So I just grabbed some things that particularly bummed me out because they were things that I love or was looking forward to, or both. So the first I would start that with is Forza Motorsport. There were a ton of layoffs at Turn 10 Studios, and confirmation that there will be no future Forza Motorsport titles, which are the more realistic ones with real world racetracks and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be Forza Horizon only, it sounds like, from here on out, because the studio that makes Forza Horizon seems to have been unaffected. That is Playground Games. So, yeah, it's a bummer. I really like Forza.
And then Perfect Dark was that had a trailer and everything, right?
Yeah, had a gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Perfect Dark is also dead. The entire studio, the initiative, which Microsoft owned, which was one of the two studios that was working on this, Crystal Dynamics, was also working on this. I couldn't find anything about layoffs at Crystal Dynamics, although they had apparently 17 layoffs back in March. But that would have predated this massive round of layoffs from within Microsoft. But yeah, Perfect Dark isn't happening. And we got a gameplay trailer last year. There's more info on that if you're interested. So not this most recent Summer Games Fest, but the one previous, the Xbox Game Showcase, had a gameplay trailer for a new Perfect Dark game. A former developer, Adam McDonald, went on record to say that the trailer did involve, quote unquote, some fakery, but also confirmed it was in fact an engine. It was just they call these vertical slices, and they're usually barely functional at best.
Sure.
So there's been a lot of talk about the trailer. You can take issue with that vertical slices in general are maybe not indicative of what the final game will look
so
at.
But
vertical
slice
it doesn't seem like this one particular trailer was any more or less accurate than most early gameplay trailers.
What does a vertical slice mean? Is that like a facade? The back of the movie or the set isn't real,
I mean, I'm not a dev. I've always interpreted it as, imagine it as a very, very, very skinny slice of cake. You have your whole cake, that's the whole game, and you make the thinnest slice of cake you possibly can to actually try and show people the layers of what's going on.
A couple things about it, yeah. And otherwise, this is not a playable slice. Okay, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. It's so they're gone. Don't know what's going on with Crystal Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics were the makers of the most recent Tomb Raider trilogy.
Sure, Tress FX and all that.
I'm feeling bad for them because they were already previously thrown under the bus.
They're batted around,
who owned them previously. Yeah, and a lot of this stuff has been given like recent check-ins by one Phil Spencer, including some multiple killed MMOs that we'll talk about when we get to our MMOsly section.
Yeah, well, that part, yeah, I don't know how much Phil Spencer to take into account of this, because it felt like he just went around playing everything and saying, that's great, couldn't stop playing it. And then I also saw today that everything showed in the Xbox showcase is safe, that they showed this year. So they were planning this out ahead of time, making sure the Xbox showcase was all going to be real stuff.
Which that has now the knock-on effect of making me worry about games that weren't in the showcase.
Like, yeah.
The biggest thing that first off, I thought that showcase sucked. It was just like, here's things that would have come out had we not purchased these studios, which I think is a bad showing. Like, why should I care? They would have made these games without you, Microsoft. Like, oh, let's close it out with Black Ops. Big surprise. They continue to make Black Ops. Why should we give a shit that you're even involved? What are you even doing here? Besides continuing the culture of laying off people working at these studios that was already happening with their previous corporate overlords.
Well, the promise was that Xbox Game Pass was going to be the most kick-ass thing ever. At least as a consumer, that's what I walked away from it as.
Well, they've been walking that back. There's like levels of Game Pass now where you may not even get the newest, latest, best on day one unless you pay more. Kind of like the Netflix 4K.
Beautiful. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, it's not even nearly as good as it used to be.
Jesus.
No, it's grim, dude. It's like I just don't. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, hey, shit, I'm worried about. The number one thing I wanted to see at the Xbox Showcase that wasn't in it, and now I'm like, is it ever actually going to come out? Is State of Decay 3?
The State of Decay
I love those
game.
State of Decay games.
Yeah, they're
They're really fun. They get better every time. 2 is a significant upgrade over 1. I cannot wait to see what they do with 3, and now I'm very concerned for it.
You put in here Blizzard was going to try a shooter again? What's this article from 2024 you found? Long ago, 2024.
Yes, in the distant past. Distant past. Yeah. No, this came out a while ago. I think this is a Jason Schreier leak. That they're trying to make a StarCraft shooter for the 3rd time. It's according to Schreier in active development. Is that in jeopardy? I kind of feel like it is. I mean, all sure. StarCraft shooters are going to be. This is what, you know what? I will give Microsoft this. I consider all StarCraft shooters in jeopardy until they actually release, because so far none of them have.
Yeah.
And there's also that new vague look at a Kojima game, OD, the one that just had Sophia Lillis from It just like screaming.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
that was lovely.
Yeah, that's a supposed to be a Microsoft exclusive that wasn't detailed in the Xbox game showcase. That being said, I did go and hunt for that one. Anonymous sources told Windows Central that it is safe, quote, for now.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And it also, according to Microsoft, a lot of this is done to become leaner, to save some money as they use AI more.
Well, yes, naturally.
Yeah. So don't worry, everybody. Tons will be saved by AI.
Did you want to talk about MMOs here? What was the?
I'm so mad, man. So mad. I'm actually I like Xbox. Like, I'm a Microsoft fan, and like, dude, this just ain't it. Like, what am I supposed to look forward to? Shit getting canceled and games that would have come out anyway if you hadn't bought Activision.
Well, it's uncool.
We already don't look forward to Halo. They've screwed it up so bad that we already have a ton of Microsoft shit we don't look forward to.
It feels like when someone stops the song halfway through, you're hearing it for the first time. Like, oh no, you didn't react the same way. You didn't like that, and then I'll turn it off. It's like, well, no, I can enjoy it on my own time. You don't need to take it away. Hang on. I didn't even get a chance to see it. But that happened with the KOTOR redo they were going to do.
Yeah.
I love me some indie games right now for all these various reasons.
Yeah. Talking to someone over the weekend. Oh, yeah, now I remember. It was someone from the Gearbox. I won't name them specifically, but they were like, my kid just wants to make games. I'm like, I think you can still stoke that. You stoke it, but like, you maybe show them a bunch of indie devs as the proof of concept, and maybe not big name studios.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, that's no different than my son being like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to work with you. I want to be on YouTube, Dad. And it's like, well, okay, come into the office. Well, what are you doing? Why aren't you playing video games? No. I've got 4 hours of footage of video games I'm editing today. Little man. You can temper those expectations with some reality sometimes.
And it's not necessarily like you're trying to beat it out of them either. Like,
no.
He might light up and be like, holy shit, I love video editing. And you'll be like, okay, cool. Let's keep going down this road.
No, I mean, that just gets into like, I remember Robert Clotworthy, the voice actor for Raynor at BlizzCon.
StarCraft 2 and 1, actually.
Anyway, someone was like, would you ever do radio plays? He was like, I got here by just saying yes. I didn't set out to be a voice actor. It didn't exist when I was a kid.
Yeah, but I guess let's get into the MMO talk of the week.
Yeah, the MMO talk.
As well. Because Rare's MMO Everwild has been canceled as part of all of these Microsoft layoffs. This was significantly further back, so I would forgive you for forgetting about it, Kyle. It was technically revealed in 2019, and we got one trailer in 2020, so it's been a good 5 years since we got to look at this game.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you for the instant forgiveness. I appreciate it. I do not remember Everwild.
I only remember it because at the beginning of every year, you and I sit down with a calendar and go, "Hey, are there any MMOs this year that we want to try?" And there's so few. That's a pretty quick.
Yeah, with release
exercise.
dates. Yeah, with release dates, right? Because if you've been following MMOs for a while, you've certainly just kind of had that heartbreak happen. Whether it was for, oh my god, just put a list here. Like there's a Dearborn thing I was looking forward to. I remember Skies of something or other. They just keep going. Never coming out.
This is one I was actually excited for, though. I really like the look of it. I like Rare. I'm a bit of a Rare fan. If you've been around long enough, you've probably heard me extol the virtues of Viva Pinata. How wonderful it is.
I like how that's the one you go with, yeah.
I love Viva Pinata, man. Like,
I love Banjo-Kazooie, but yeah, I get you.
It's modern Rare. It's the most recent Rare that I've played a lot of. Sea of Thieves is cool. Not really my cup of tea, but like that's like a personal thing. Not that I think it's bad. I think it's a good game. It's just I don't need to play it. But I thought I really just like the look of Everwild, and I like Sea of Thieves enough that I would have liked to have them, because Sea of Thieves is like MMO adjacent. I wouldn't call it an MMO, but it has similar mechanics. I would really like to see them take that, take what they learned and kind of blow it up into a more traditional MMO experience. But it seems like, sadly, we will not be seeing the fruits of that labor.
Sorry, I'm deep in the articles you posted here.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, no, I'm doing my own catch up. Yeah, I did not remember this thing, but man, okay, all right. So the hits keep coming. What's next?
An unannounced sci-fi MMO from ZeniMax was canceled. Also, this is part of the Microsoft layoff. So, ZeniMax is very specifically ZeniMax Online, because just ZeniMax is like the umbrella that Bethesda lives underneath. But ZeniMax Online actually develops games, and they're known for Elder Scrolls Online. They apparently have been working on an unannounced sci-fi MMO, and that's been scrapped. It was named Blackbird.
Yeah. Damn, I would love to see them try something out of that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time in Elder Scrolls.
ESO is solid. I just, I only have time for so many MMOs, and I'm like, this just kind of feels like Elder Scrolls, and if I'm going to play Elder Scrolls, I'll probably go play a single-player Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, their cutscenes kick ass.
It's a solid game. It's a good one of those. And also they've proven to be successful, right? Like, why don't you have more patience for them?
Yeah, they have plenty of expansions.
There's not that many like properly successful long-term running MMOs, and ESO is definitely one of them. So this was disheartening for me to hear as someone who enjoys the genre of MMO. Like, I understand they are unwieldy, horribly expensive, and take way too long to create. But okay, I guess Rare technically hasn't proven themselves, even though Sea of Thieves is a long-running, successful games as a service.
Right,
but
and you hope that
you can kind of make an argument they haven't done an MMO before. Maybe you don't trust them with an MMO. But then if ZeniMax Online, who do have and have delivered a successful MMO, you're not going to give them the runway to get another one off the ground. How are we going to get MMOs? Also, apparently, like, I don't know. I don't trust we'll ever see anything in a Riot.
Well, and look at like Battle Right. Battle Right wasn't the most kick-ass game you'd ever played in your life. It was fun for a time.
I'm gonna have to Google.
But that led to V Rising. And so getting to see those studios explore their idea further and lock into something they're passionate about can be very exciting down the road.
What was Battle Right?
Battle Right was like it was a battle royale done top down. It came out kind of in the tail end of Heroes 2017, and you would jump into a battlefield, run around in circles. There's a bunch of these that kind of came out around that time period, but Battle Right was.
Okay.
And Battle Right certainly was one of them. However, that DNA made it into their next game, V Rising, and because the theme was stronger, because the personality of the game was stronger, and it was just more fun to play by yourself, they had a success.
V Rising.
Yeah, V Rising is freaking great.
Game is so good. I did not remember Battle Right. I'm looking it up, and it's not even registering in my memory.
I don't remember inviting you to play it. I played it a little myself. There was Barbarian who slammed ground and shockwaves of little spikes went forward and stunned.
Oh, they had Sonya.
Impressive stuff like that. Yeah. It was really one of those.
Okay. All right. All right. Final MMO adjacent piece of news regarding the Microsoft layoffs. Warcraft Rumble is done. Not an MMO, but invoking the name of an MMO. This was the Warcraft tie-in mobile game.
Tower defense, Clash of Clans-y kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had its push. All of us were collectively like definitely wowed by it when it got announced for sure. Wowed by it as a word.
This is one that's just like, I just want to be like, it sucks because it seems like the entire team's been laid off.
And and in terms of the conversation we were having earlier about stop killing games, like this one will be supported just like Here's the Storm is. There's still going to be needed balance. The servers are going to stay on.
Yeah, they announced that there'll just be no like major updates of the game, but it's also been reported that most of the team is gone as well, and that's what sucks about this. The game itself, like you can go back to, I think, Into the Nexus we were still making at the time. I had nothing nice to say about it. It seemed like a mobile cash grab to me.
The stream of us watching it is on this channel, so we were definitely doing the grinding gear thing when they showed it to us. But it was in development for like 9 years. It was insane how much work was put into it. And obviously the devs were quite passionate about their art style and what they were doing with it to make it fun throughout those various interviews and the push they did to get it going.
Yeah. It macro lens from me, it just seemed extremely cynical, but that doesn't mean I want people to lose their freaking jobs over it.
Yeah, just because you don't want to play something, right? Like that's a completely different idea. And that's all part of this this massive layoff that they're doing. Damn.
Yeah. But what's killing Final Fantasy 14 this week, Kyle?
Well, a bit of a subject change.
You've informed me that people are mad about something that that's new in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh yeah. There's a $42 outfit in the game when you combine all the pieces.
Wait, is that the headline?
With this the headline here?
That seems slightly disingenuous because you're buying 2 outfits, right? To get that 42 total?
Well, you're buying all the pieces of one outfit because it's in multiple pieces. So if you want to wear this whole thing, you have to pay $42. You can buy individually the smaller items. If you really want the gloves, you could get out of there for, like a few bucks.
Okay.
You can pay $18.
But that's not how they sell most outfits. Why is this outfit special?
You could buy $18 for like the standard version, but if you want the special version, then you're paying more. I mean, listen, this is I think we just we were going to look at this one and just kind of say, hopefully sales aren't big enough on this to support this kind of weird nickel and diming in the future. But the team that made this outfit and put it on the store, probably not the same team that did whatever insert your anger here about. This was going to go up regardless of,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever state of the game was going to happen.
It's the reason they didn't bring back insert my favorite character into the MSQ and saved the Dawn Trail story was because that person was working on this.
They were too busy. They're like, hold on. We can't have any content updates. We have to make room for our $42 outfit. Yeah, there you just get into the absolute lack of shock I have when seeing expensive outfits in a cash shop. So I'm afraid I'm not going to be terribly.
That is okay. There's more information to it than the outfit costs $42 because it's more than one outfit, but it's a variation on the outfit. So it's okay. All right, I guess I won't call it complete disingenuity with that. But okay,
yeah,
that is a lot a
Yeah, certainly.
That is. Yeah, oh, God,
and you tie that to a subscription. Copy paste. What's going on?
Copy paste every response we tend to have to non-required purchases. It's just like, well, it doesn't affect your game. Don't buy it if you don't like it. But in a time where a lot of people are riled, it's in a time where it seems like a lot of people that want to even talk about 14 feel like they want to talk about how it's not living up to their expectations. I'm not surprised this didn't land well with some people.
No, and ultimately, you get into the aspect of what is my subscription costing? Should these prices be perhaps lower? Because in order to even take advantage of them, I have to be a part of this ecosystem you've created. I mean, obviously, the articles that are rounding up, and chat's making a good point of this as well, is going through and finding all the options, adding them all together to make the most shocking price point you can, which is ultimately a complete non-star when you look at something like Dota prices, which are insane, or CSGO and all that kind of thing too. But that kind of goes back into that, like, well, I'm paying a subscription. Ultimately, you can't do anything right, because mounts and weapon transmogs in World of Warcraft right now have a 10% more likely drop rate as part of an event that's going on right now. And there is a mod you can install that automatically spits on anybody, and it checks their achievements if they ride by one of the mounts you really, really wanted, and they got it during this event.
Wow, we are really in the summer doldrums. Jesus Christ.
Like,
could WoW players stop being absolute dickheads for 5 seconds?
That is a special level of petty. That is maybe you gotta cross a bridge at some point, and it does suck. I'm not a huge fan originally of transmogs. I think they're very fun now, but I wanted to see people's achievements. And if I farmed, which I did for the Baron mount, and never successfully got it, and here comes an event that allows a increased drop rate to get it, and everyone's getting it but me, yeah, I might be a little salty, but I'm also currently in a room not having cheesecake. And I'm not feeling mad about anybody eating cheesecake in the world right now. I don't experience FOMO and things I'm not doing.
That's not okay. Far be it from me to ruin a perfectly unhinged Kyle analogy. It's not even a good analogy, my dude. The analogy would be, I only make my own cheesecakes. The people that go to Cheesecake Factory didn't try hard enough.
Yeah, they didn't try hard enough for that cheesecakes.
Back in my day, we had to churn our own cheese.
Slippery slope, dangerous precedent, all that blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, all you've done is make half the chat want cheesecake. Are you proud of yourself now, Kyle? Are you happy?
I was just trying to think of something most people would be into, be thinking about.
Eric H is using their 31-month membership message for this.
I mean,
they just want cheesecake.
Yeah, and I want the Baron mount, but you know what I'm not doing right now?
And you know what? Our chat, they can't afford cheesecake because they're spending $42 on clothing and Final Fantasy XIV.
Because they want all the options. Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, wonderful stuff.
We are, God. Just be nice to each other.
I'm honestly
just. It's hard, man.
I'm honestly just impressed with
life is pain. What are we doing?
The coding of this particular add-on means that once the event ends, it'll also recognize people who didn't get it during that time period. So this is like grabbing hold of the data of someone riding by a mount with the date that they received it on attached to it. That insane.
Is some bullshit.
That is some hard work someone put into that particular piece of trolling and toxicity. That's wild.
We are up to, I think, 6 membership messages, all mentioning cheesecake. Well done. Well done, Kyle.
I don't think the lactose intolerant, you responded one here. I don't think lactose intolerant really, unless you were allergic to playing World of Warcraft. Well, no. Oh, no, this works. I can make this work. Yeah. You know that World of Warcraft makes you salty and it's unhealthy for you, and you shouldn't have it. And while you could
doesn't do that to me, but rating does.
Well, you could take precautions to, make sure you're all pilled up, you have proper add-ons, you're not doing content that truly upsets your tummy, you still, think about that cheesecake from time to time.
I bring saltier raiders with me, and that helps me not be so salty while raiding.
Oh, yeah, their experience, them tilting means you kind of have a check and balance on your own tilt. You kind of see the mirror and decide not to go.
I hope to return to our raid chat to them all arguing over who the saltiest is. I don't actually hope to return to that. Please be kind to each other. Yeah, man. The news ain't great. And like, I always start to read into this. Like, I feel like this happens almost every year, this time of the year. Summer Games Fest has come and gone. New game releases are pretty spotchy. This year's that's a little less true because of the advent of the Switch 2. So we got Mario Kart World last month, and we're going to get Donkey Kong Bonanza this month. But that's also locked behind fairly difficult to acquire hardware. And then you've got these layoffs. Like,
right, it's
a hot summer.
Yes,
these layoffs have hit. Even what I would consider good news, which is the Stop Killing Games movement. It came from a place of infighting and Twitch drama.
It came from the movement needed a villain in order to be properly motivated, and they got it, and now it's underway. But now he has to combat everything that came with it, which is people wrongfully signing up, trying to make multiple accounts to signing up outside the EU. People are motivated, but it kind of went the wrong direction too.
Yeah, it's I'm glad that the lesson we learned from Watchmen continues to be.
What's that?
An apt one.
Aliens will bring us all together.
He gives them all a common enemy.
Oh yes, I was actually right. I understood you perfectly.
Yes. I figured that's an actual piece of media you have consumed.
I've read it and I've watched it. Yes,
a rare piece of media that Kyle and I have consumed.
We both agree on.
Played together. It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over at Crunchyroll. I canceled that business.
I just found out there's a competitor, and that's what I need to subscribe to if I want to watch the rest of Oshinoko, and that has annoyed me.
Well, and then I read it like, the new competitor is just a Netflix paid for advertisement. Ultimately, they were saying they were the competitor. Who's
wonderful?
Who's doing great right now? In my opinion, Tubi. Their ads are like,
dude, same. I've watched some shit on Tubi recently,
and their ads are like 50% turned down. And like they just have a lot of shit that I like watching. And they have a lot of obscure shit too.
I'm so winded today that I am like terrified to give any corporations their flowers.
I'm kind of like I'm saying it out of fear too, because I'm like, what did Tubi do? Has Tubi done something horrible? What's going on? They had an advertisement for an AI washing machine. I don't think that's a thing. I don't
think everyone is using the term AI.
Well, yes, obviously, but like actually,
we technically have a smart washing machine.
Yeah, sure, it's smart. It runs Netflix, whatever. But like, is it like compiling data from other washing machines and getting better at washing? Is it like, oh shit, Steve 3 houses down also has one, and now we took his data on cleaning his whites and made your whites even whiter? Like, what the frick? What does that mean? That one actually, like, I had to take a moment. That was dumb. So thank you, Tubi, for experiencing that. They also show a lot of local ads, and they're super cheesy, and I enjoy that.
That is fun. It's my favorite part of hotel television. Local ads. I don't experience them anymore. I don't experience them. Have you been just completely off
TV?
Topic?
Yeah.
Have you considered getting an antenna? Because I've been thinking about getting an antenna.
Oh, why? To watch like
because every New Year's I want the 3-letter channels so I can watch the ball drop.
Okay.
And apparently they have HD antennas now that once they're up, they just work and things look nice. That's as far as I've made it in my research. I don't know how it technically actually functions, but I was curious if
freaking analog, man. Yeah,
because I know you refuse to pay more than you have to for television, so I was curious if you had looked into this.
No, I have not. That's funny as hell. That's interesting.
My
I haven't even
extremely
considered
nice
that.
television has a dedicated like antenna button. Like you hit it and you go to it, and right now it's just like no signal.
Yeah, it's just static.
So I'm like, okay, well if I had something plugged in there, I guess I would have.
Yeah, it's not even off the grid. You just want to be on the old grid.
What is it with Americans watching a ball drop? It's how we ring in the new year.
Yeah. It's how we time it out. You know, like
yeah.
I mean, we're a big country. You know, we can't all see the same ball. We have to televise it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still mad they only did that. Miley Cyrus celebrates New Year's in Florida twice. It was really good. It was a fun event. The second year she co-hosted it with Dolly Parton. It was awesome.
We also get lag when you watch it online, and sometimes an ad starts at the wrong time. So yeah, antenna would be the way to do it. Why is it a ball? I don't know. Actually,
I don't know the history of the Times Square ball.
Probably because it's light enough that it could be attached to an antenna and pulled down.
I have no idea. I actually don't know the history of that. You're going to make me go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole, chat.
Yeah, we can look that up later.
Is this what you want?
We'll figure it out.
Will we? We're not going to do a follow-up to this on the podcast.
No, yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Got you.
Damn
I caught him, everybody.
Damn it.
Let's do some Q&A.
Okay, sounds good.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
You can send in questions.
It says these are community questions. I just want to say thank you for all the Magic the Gathering enjoyment recently from the patrons, from Ham, who sent over tons of cards. That was my weekend. It was going through the Magic cards that we opened. I have made 3 decks so far. I'm Dicks. I took me like 2 days of the weekend to make a blue-red deck because I suck at them. I'm absolutely horrible at anything that requires hand management. But I finally made one, and I'm excited to play it. I got a black-green deck here. This took me like an hour. I've made 1,000 black-green decks. They're so easy. Just, oh shit, things died. Woo, grave card big. Woo. And then I made my Fran Balthea deck, which is a vehicle deck, which amuses me to no ends because the Chocobos pilot the vehicles. So
I played a little MTG Arena this weekend.
Oh, nice. I
did Jump In, which is that make 2 decisions, we give you a deck, go have fun. And they have a Jump In mode that is only the Final Fantasy set, so you get to play with a bunch of the new cards, and also keep the cards, so it helps grow your Arena collection. I had a really fun time with the white-red equipment deck.
That'd be the usual equipment colors, yeah.
Around weapons. And got that Zach guy that we both are pretty sure dies in Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, totally dead guy.
Yeah, got him.
I'm a mirror.
Hero Equip is a really fun mechanic.
The what?
Because I've Hero Equip. Hero Equip, it just spawns a 1/1 and equips it.
Oh yeah, those are fun. Yeah, those are blast.
So yeah. That shit is really fun. Because like historically, I haven't really liked equipment in Magic the Gathering. I'm always like, oh, I gotta pay to deploy and then I gotta pay to attach it. Hero Equip, just shortcut it.
Yep, get it.
Here's a 1/1 stat stick that just automatically appears and a weapon goes on it. But I've been having a good time, and then I was also great. Now we're just talking about Magic the Gathering. No one asked us about someone in chat or asked the host, just asked us some Magic the Gathering questions. So we're technically being.
I thought it's like a community section. I thought.
Yeah, it came from the community. Yeah, if you didn't watch it, there's a VOD available over on the Grinding Gear YouTube channel right now of you and I each opening an entire booster box by ourselves. We had some awesome pulls too, by the way.
Yeah, some powerful.
We pulled some fire cards. Katie saw me like organizing like the Final Fantasy cards, and just like when digging in the don't look in this closet in the house.
Okay.
There's so much shit in here. Don't look in this closet. She found my cardboard like 4-track just card box. So all of my Magic cards are now in my possession.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Should have sold my Elspeth while Theros was still standard legal, as it would turn out, Kyle. I was like, oh hey, I even sleeved you. You're in like perfect condition. What are you worth? $3.
Well, didn't you? I guess you didn't enjoy it while it lasted. You know.
I mean, I played some at the time.
Okay. Okay.
But you know, I didn't have that much sleeve, so it was like, what did I sleeve? And I was like, oh, it's a bunch of planeswalkers. Holy shit, are they worth anything? No, they're worth nothing. They're worth absolutely nothing. But yeah, I had a good time. Had a good time playing some Magic yesterday.
I was yeah. The going through the cards was immense. I worked so hard to try to make my Kefka work, which would have been a red, black, blue combination. Oh my god, this is such a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest tricolor fan.
Well, and we got some really good lands to pull it off, but all the information about this, because the set is so full of legendaries, is all commander shit. Like this entire set is just commander fodder. And it's fun, but I also am like, how many commanders should I put in a deck? Because you can only have one at a time. And if I make a clone of one, it dies because it's legendary and can't exist alongside itself because they're legendary.
I think it's getting better. I'm not deep into it at all. Don't expect angry chicken level reporting on my part. But my understanding, a bunch of standard bans just rolled out. And so I think the Final Fantasy set is its stock is up a bit in standard because a bunch of new bands just rolled out.
Yeah, when I tried to look up like standard decks, very, very few Final Fantasy cards in them. Seemed like a lot of people were like, I've splashed in a diamond weapon, but you know, whatever, I'm doing my old thing.
Yeah, I saw Sephiroth in quite a few meta decks from the very, very quick look through I had over on Untapped GG, just to kind of see like what was popular. They nerfed my damn mouse. I had a great mono red mouse deck, and they banned the gas that makes it go.
Wait, they like lowered your stats online?
They just straight up banned one of the creatures that
I thought you
was
said
key to my strategy.
Yeah, I don't think they did actual balance. Yeah, they just ban Magic the Gathering because that get weird.
Oh, they don't do
cards.
balance because what
are you gonna do?
Like one with their paper.
You're gonna
knock
write
on your
in
door.
Yeah, like write in and be like, mail in your mouse and be like, send me a new version of my mouse, please.
Could you imagine what an absolute pain in the ass that would be?
That's why Warhammer works well, because there's no stats on the actual little minion, and that's just pure content because the unit still exists. It's a rabbit hole. It's a lot of fun to go through. I love the tightness of trying to stay inside the Final Fantasy set to try to make a deck. You know, trying to make good with your Louis Swaz when you're like, I've got a counter spell that's way better than this. I don't have to sack anything, but it's a good time.
Yeah. Well, I had a good time looking back at my Magic cards. Let's look back at music from 1999.
All right. The
Critigree wrote in to they asked the host channel, which you have access to if you support us on Patreon or YouTube membership. You both get everyone gets access. Said a Critigree writes in and says, I'm hijacking a trend on Blue Sky, namely post a song that released when you were 12.
Yeah, isn't this a phishing attempt? Are these all like, I mean, granted in a modern era, they could just look up my name and see how old I am. But
songs from when I was 12 in any sort of caption.
Yeah, hey, what's up? You know, you just tell me what song. Oh shit, I got your birthday. I know your birthday year. Like, let's go.
Yeah. That just, yeah, you know, that's on you if you use this as a security question. That's your problem.
Hit
Kyle.
me, baby, one more time. I type out the full thing and add the number 0 and an exclamation
that would
point
be
at the
incorrect because "Hit Me" was not part of the title of the song.
Oh, wait, it was just ...
It was just ellipses. Baby.
Oh, well, that'd be too dirty for the radio, or something,
or violent if you hadn't heard the song before.
I guess so. But her loneliness is killing her.
Abuse.
And I
mean, that has to be the biggest song from '99, right? That has to be.
I mean, the biggest?
That has to be the single biggest hit of 1999. That song.
It was just everywhere.
That was like, that's what I think was the most famous song from that year.
I mean, there were more annoying songs like Kiss Me.
I like Kiss Me.
Kiss Me. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you sing it like an asshole.
They did it first. They're Wild Wild West.
How dare you?
Wild Wild West. Was this summer?
Oh, every morning. Oh, dude. Oh, No Scrubs by TLC. Ah, hell, that is a song.
Oh, God.
I get so hyped when I hear it in a bar.
Oh, jeez.
What? Scrub is a guy who thinks he's fine.
Yeah, I know. You can sing the whole thing. I know. Is Summer Girls the Girls of Summer, or what's Summer? Is that the one about Chinese food makes me sick?
What? I don't know. That one I can't help you.
So wait, what are we supposed to do with this list of songs that we're currently experiencing remembering of?
Pick one, I guess. I don't know. I put this here to help you because I figure you probably don't remember any music.
Oh, post a song that really. Oh, so you pick one of these.
Yeah. The joke is that we're old. Now, you were 12 and 99. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yes, we were.
Genie in a bottle, baby.
What I couldn't believe looking at the Billboard Hot 100 was that there wasn't a single Blink-182 song on it because 99 is when Enema of the State came out, which is easily their most famous album.
Was it not radio, friendly, being an Enema of the State, apparently?
No, like all their hits, like the freaking What's My Age Again, freaking All the Small Things, that's on that record. But I don't know if those singles were released in 99 or if they came out in 2000. Which I guess I could have looked up, but I was surprised to see they weren't, like, nothing from that was on the 99 Billboard charts. So yeah, we were still cranking Sugar Ray for our alt rock.
I mean, All Star came out that year. I think that's the biggest song of the year.
Listen, big song. I will give you that. There's no way that was a bigger song than Britney Spears' like first single.
Yeah, but is Baby One More Time tied to a popular movie franchise?
It doesn't need to be.
Well, it's going to have lasting power.
Wow. You just send your emails to Kyle. What's your personal email? I'm going to give this out.
It was in such films as Mystery Men, Digimon the movie, and Shrek. All right, here we go. Let's find what movies Baby One More Time where it was in. None.
Movies featuring Baby One More Time. Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh,
where
yeah.
It was covered by Tenacious D. That's actually awesome.
Have you not heard that version? It is good. It's really good.
No, I haven't. I stopped after Kung Fu Panda 2.
Yeah, Jack Black does a high kick in the music video. It's quite impressive.
Oh, that's
yeah. He was limber. He was limber.
Baby One More Time. Sales charts. Let's see. Well, the debut album has sold over 25 million copies worldwide. What was All Star on? All Star album was Astro Lounge. Smash Mouth,
Astro Lounge.
Astro Lounge. I remember this. Everybody had this in their CD.
Yeah, I had one
booklet.
Yep.
I did not. I did not have this.
Well, I stole mine from my friend, but he kind of just left it at my house. I just never
Astro
did
Lounge sold. I can't find it. It sold so few. Okay, it appears to be under 5 million. So Britney Spears has actually absolutely blown Smash Mouth out of the water on that one.
All right, well, we'll check in 30 years or how many? 22? What was why are we doing this date in the first place? What does being 12 have to do with anything?
I guess it was a trend on Blue Sky.
Okay,
sir.
all right.
I don't make these things. I just go into Ask the Host. I see what people ask us, and I include it. We don't have any rules. They can ask us whatever they want. Anything at all. Anything at all.
Oh man, Alden. Backstreet Boys, all I got to give. Okay, we can move on. That was a good song.
I'll give a deep cut. I'm sure everyone wants the deep cut from Garrett.
Okay.
The hipster. They didn't chart, but 99 was the year that AFI's Black Sails in the Sunset came out, and it is, in my opinion, the best like horror punk goth rock album that you can spend your time with. So
but my love is all I have to give. Without you, I don't. Oh, dude, it's good. Yeah, man. Backstreet Boys, man. I like Backstreet Boys better.
You and Katie can hang out.
Okay. My sister was an NSYNC. I like Backstreet Boys.
Oh, well, Katie and your sister can fight to the death.
Yeah. Yeah, sing your social security number in the tune of Backstreet Boys. Exactly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
686. 27.
But wait, hang on. That's probably someone's actual number, right?
Well, it's not mine.
Is that how? Wow. Oh my God. Just throw in whoever that is. Okay. What's next?
I don't know.
Alden asks.
Also, Kyle, do you know your own social security number? Because that's not enough digits.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you should have probably noticed that was not enough.
Well, I stopped you early. Yeah, I assumed it was going to go to the proper number because you're an effective person like that. You are a completionist. You know, you're gonna see it through.
Kyle don't know
all the way.
Alden asks, on the back of the Final Fantasy II streams, can we expect a wall of Star Wars quotes? I feel like that would take too long.
I mean, there's a video I've been wanting to make for a long time, which is just nothing but quotes that we say without context and don't really justify anymore. But it's not us saying them. It's just the part of the movie. Like, sorry from Star Wars. And just that one particular sorry.
It's not really a quote.
No, but what is a quote? And like, and it would be like, I don't know, like a 4-minute long video. And just watch this to understand why we say things certain ways. And that's it. You know?
Part time.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes we have a need to say things a certain way as we once heard them.
Oh my God, my dude. We're getting one right now. Beep, 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 beep. It's coming in. Coming in.
What's that?
Karaka in Ask the Host asks, bouncing off of Critigree's question, what's a game that you loved at 12 that you'd love to experience all over again for the first time?
Ooh. Oh, well, now we need
1999 in games. Sadly, not 1998, which is the best year in games ever.
Is considered, right? Oh my God. The Age of Empires. Which Age of Empires is this?
No, Donkey Kong 64, Final Fantasy 8. Oh shit, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Ah.
Age of Empires 2 was, oh my God, that was amazing.
Okay. Let's see here. For the first time, I mean, none of these blew my mind story-wise that I played. I haven't played Silent Hill. I haven't played Final Fantasy 8.
No, and Age of Empires was just like MSN gaming, Game Spy. Wasn't that the service you would use to connect to each other? It was completely asinine, but it worked. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah, that's a good one.
I feel like I don't have to experience it with fresh eyes.
That's the thing.
I actually prefer playing Roller Coaster Tycoon with knowledge.
Right, exactly. I'd rather not have to find out that egg beaters are just okay or that my roller coaster is always too fast.
Probably my biggest piece of nostalgia in this list is Pokemon Snap. But that's like, I don't necessarily just want to go back and experience Pokemon Snap for the first time, because like if I'm doing it now at 38, you wipe my brain, I've ever played Pokemon Snap. I go back and I play Pokemon Snap. It doesn't matter. I just go, oh, this plays like an old janky ass game.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go back to 99, go back to my 90s ass bedroom and soak in the vibes while playing Pokemon Snap. And then I want to go to Blockbuster and print out stickers that still live on my Pokemon card binder to this day.
What came out first, Pokemon Stadium or Pokemon Snap?
Snap.
Okay, yeah. So that experience of seeing them in 3D was unparalleled. But nowadays it's kind of a shit game, particularly because you have to unlock the stink balls in order to even get. Because I played this like last year. It's on the Nintendo thing.
It was developed to be replayed because it wasn't that long of a game.
No, and it was honestly, I think looking back on it, I kind of knew my purchase was ass, but I played it and I hit that Mew with all I could and got that picture and unlocked every bit because it's what there was to do.
When did Pokemon Snap? What's its actual release date? March. Wait. Stadium was a month after? Really?
Pokemon was big. I mean, according to this,
damn.
This is just best selling. So Pokemon Red, Green, and Yellow and Blue were all still the best selling games of that year. Super Smash Bros. So they had some tight competition because just the old shit was still selling amazingly.
Yeah. I'm looking at that's why I'm looking at release dates.
Yeah, you can't go off of sales here because they're just too weighted to the good stuff before it. Apparently, Soul Calibur won Game of the Year.
So, oh shit, okay. I mean, it's a good 3D fighter. Probably my favorite. I haven't played a lot of 3D fighting games, but that was a Pokemon Gold and Silver year. So, fun fact, chat: I have never played Pokemon Gold and Silver. Despite Pokemon Red being probably the game I've beaten more than any other game. And I would like people to weigh in on this. I am seriously considering, right now it's probably the top of my list for the week that Kyle's gone for his summer break. I think I might try and marathon gold and or silver. No, there's no and or silver.
What's the because they're the same thing, right? It's the old split.
Yes, it's like red and blue. It's just you needed both to get all the Pokemon.
What was it that was the year? Okay, so it's the weird one with the whale hands and the bird talk. Oh, those guys.
I'm trying to Google it right now, but it's autofilling how long to beat because I was already researching if I could actually do this in a week.
Those guys don't slap. Who is the silver guy? I've never liked him much.
That's Lucario? No,
Lucario isn't
the Mewtwo
the
wannabe.
Smash.
Lucario. Who the hell is that? I used to know the name of him.
Is that the one with the Bellsprout Tower?
That's Lugia. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't know if it's a soft G or a hard G. Well, I'm just going to pull up Lugia's Bulbapedia page, Kyle.
Yeah,
Psychic
go for
flying
it.
type.
Psychic flying. Okay, so he was the new better Mewtwo because he flew.
But Mewtwo can fly.
Well, in movies, he's not flying type.
No, you could teach him fly.
You could teach Mewtwo fly?
I'm pretty sure you could teach Mewtwo fly.
I know Mew you could teach anything. I wouldn't waste a spot because I'm using him for the psychic part.
Wally, I actually legit appreciate you writing use the G like you say in gay. All right, so it's a hard G. Wonderful. Perfect. We got it. Lugia is how people pronounce it.
Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Mewtwo is levitating. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he's levitating. Right. Yeah. There's a big difference. Like Storm, she can't fly, but she can use her cape, I guess. It has holes in it.
No, Mewtwo cannot learn the move fly. Shit.
Okay.
I'm wrong.
You took a gamble. I respect
wrong.
I respect the gamble though. You went for it. He flies a lot in the movie, so I was already kind of on board. I was doubting myself. So you did a good job.
Did you know the movie is now free to watch on YouTube?
Really? Why?
It's a massive pain in the ass to watch Pokemon anywhere else in any other order, but yeah, you can watch.
Pokemon,
just the first movie for free on YouTube. Right now.
That's neat.
Shout out to it. Did you know, folks, instead of watching us,
you could be watching the Pokemon movie?
You could be watching Pokemon the first movie.
You could. However,
the quote, the circumstances of one birth comes from.
The opportunity cost. You would have to make that choice. Yeah, it's about opportunity cost. You can't eat cheesecake at the same time. Oh, what was the consensus? Was that it looks like that's something people would be into?
What?
The
if I do second gen Pokemon,
that'd be interesting. So that is second gen. So that's the one right after. I thought green was after red, but I guess I'm just stuck in like secondary color brain.
That was the second game, right? Let's see.
Wasn't
Order
it Pikachu first?
Games. Well, that was just a reskin of red.
Where you got a Pikachu.
I loved it. I had it. But yeah, no, gold and silver were next.
Okay. And then it was green, and what was the green opposite?
Wait, no, green was an advanced remake of red and blue. Red was a North America only release. Japan had green back in the original releases of Pokemon.
Oh.
It was blue and green, not blue and red. And so then when we got the Game Boy Advance remakes, instead of doing blue and red again, they did like something. Or no, wait, green was
Wait, what the
leaf
shit?
Green. We got Leaf Green, which was a remake of.
Why? Wait, hang on.
It was red. It was Ruby Red and Leaf Green. They didn't do blue for the Advance remake.
Wait, no. This is important. Why? So kids think rice balls are donuts. He can't be named. He has to be named Joey.
Oh, blue was what was left off in Japan? Oh, okay. I'm getting this horribly.
Wait, no, but why would... Why... They didn't think we would like the color green, so they localized it to blue?
did anything that they did. I don't know.
Like, I would be confused.
I mean, listen, I had red, but blue is objectively the best because Squirtle is objectively the best.
Yeah.
So,
Because Blastoise kicks ass.
yeah, Blastoise does kick ass.
Blastoise kicks ass.
Charizard is horribly overrated.
I agree with that.
Damn. We should end because we're getting too
Yeah, there we go. The drama's over.
Okay.
Okay, but then Shield came after that, right? Do you still have your list up? Then there was like Sword and Shield. Because we ran out of colors.
Gold, silver, and then there was Crystal. Was Crystal like a yellow to gold and silver?
Oh. Well, that would...
No, then it was Ruby and Sapphire.
Ruby and Sapphire. Okay.
Followed gold and silver. And that was followed by Diamond and Pearl.
Oh.
Then we got Black and White. Then we got X and Y.
Oh
Then we
my
got
God.
Sun and Moon.
Holy
and Sword
shit.
and Shield are the most recent releases.
Wow. Holy shit.
How are you unaware of the fact that there was that many?
There are so
Pokemon?
many. Yeah.
Like, I haven't played them, but I'm aware that there's been a ton.
No, I thought it just kind of jumped to the Shield and Sword business.
Yeah, no. It was, what do you even call these? The primary color era,
Yeah.
precious metals,
It's like anniversaries.
precious gems meta.
Uh-huh.
Then we're still just sticking with gems because we're doing diamond, but then pearl, which technically isn't a gem, right? It's
Well, it's a
because of
birthstone.
what it's made of.
Right?
And then we're back to colors, but we're doing black and white. Then we get to genders, X and Y. Then we get to daytime, night. Yeah, this joke doesn't work anymore because then there's just sun and moon. You're just like, I don't know, astral bodies.
Hey, what was your birthstone in 1998?
That's not how birthstones work. Your birthstone is always your birthstone, sir.
Apparently, there's some debate whether or not Pearl is a birthstone. I think that's fair.
Pearl counts as a gemstone, even though it's not. Really?
I mean,
it's like made inside a clan.
Yeah, but it's made under pressure. I think it's just smoothed. Is it made under? Because don't you get? No, that's when you melt sand. I mean, I guess if all it takes is pressure to make a gemstone. But how do geodes work?
Oh my God. You can write Kyle and only Kyle with answers to these questions.
Because they're just chilling in there. Oh, yeah. If you're okay. As we end the show, no one still has sent me a video on the proper way to shuffle. So I'm assuming everyone's a liar and that
no one agrees.
No one.
Why would you expect anyone to agree on this? Literally no one agrees. So anyone that yells at you is a jerk because no one agrees.
I was in shock. I can't believe there was no official way to shuffle my magic
My
cards.
goal is to just not bend my cards. That's it. That's it. Yeah, I want no part in these answers at all. I've been on the internet long enough to know that I do not want feedback on how to shuffle from anyone. Because my God, the speed with which it escalated to, you would have gotten banned from an official thing if you had shuffled like that.
I know,
Like,
and all I could think of was
like,
that 75%
calm
of
down,
WoW
everybody.
players are worse than the one button rotation. So I was like,
Yeah,
that's all I could think about is, well,
It's
man,
just like you're probably fine.
the shuffling probably won't help me play better.
Played in the Grand Prix. No one was walking around looking at how people were shuffling. Like that was not.
If I was going to play in a Grand Prix, I'd at least learn how to do that one-handed cut thing because that'd be badass. Cut and then do the cut for him just to mess with him.
That is fun. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Huge shout out to our wonderful patrons supporting us on Patreon. Check it out over at supportourbromance.com. Hezo and Melty, thanks for going out of your way and signing up over there.
Hey, thank you.
We really appreciate you, as well as our legendary level backers. Thank you for your generous support, and we thank you each and every episode. So a big shout out to you, Sean B, Cheesy Bob, Chris K, Lost Mythic, Zervon, Capside, Jedi, Bothy, B, Bloodsy, Von Snuggle, Gore, Avane, Shinny Geo, Nicholas C, Jerry T, Sean and Jen, Vernacular Ham, Brahm, Vasilius, KLG Chaos, and Ilmex. Thank you for your generous support of us. We really do appreciate it. Other than that, we use Doghouse Systems gaming PCs, so if you're in the market for a new gaming PC, check them out over at doghousesystems.com. Use the code BROMANCE. You'll get upgraded to a free 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. Kyle's holding up a mouse pad right now because I assume that's easier than pulling out his entire tower that he's currently using.
That is easier, yes.
And you can follow both Kyle and myself on Twitter and Blue Sky at Garrett Art and at Kyle Ferguson. 2 S's in Ferguson, 2 R's and 2 T's in Garrett. I trust you know how to spell art. Gonna do it. We'll see you tomorrow if you watch our live streams. We'll see you next week if you listen to the podcast. We'll see you in your dreams if you think we're cute. GG.
Take care. No notes. Best outro ever. Freaking love it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh my God. Garrett fart. Yeah, exactly.
That was a fat pile of bad news in the middle of summer. That sucks.
Yeah, I got a little worked up there, but this shit pisses me off.
Yeah, well, it should. You know, there's no good way to cover that stuff. I've been around the block enough times to have respect for it too. Because
I'm extra pissed off too because our buddy Ridiculous Hat contract still hasn't been renewed.
Yeah, for the Hearthstone team. Yeah,
at Blizzard. Yeah, he's like, you know, what he like. Call me biased. I know him personally, but legit, best to ever do it. Well, yeah, I feel like you can cut my bias off because I didn't cover Hearthstone at all while he's been in that position.
Yeah, well, it humanizes it, you know, and that's tough. Because and you know, it's just simple stuff too. Like, you don't always get to make a game that you like when you're making game dev, you know, decisions.
Yeah,
where you're gonna work. Sometimes you work on something that you're not entirely passionate about.
Yeah, I'm also like mad on his behalf. Like, we haven't talked much. Like, this is all. By the way, none of this is based on me talking to Ridiculous Hat. I didn't know he was on contract. I thought he was an employee. Like, and I assume, I could be wrong about this, but usually contract means no benefits, like no bennies.
Yeah.
Like that's such bullshit. Like, God, it's not like, because I don't know. I was mouthing off on social media, and I saw some folks be like, well, like, even if he got hired, it wouldn't be job security because they're laying people off. And I'm like, yeah, I see that, but no, I'm like mad because I'm just like, it's ridiculous that they're still doing the contract bullshit so they can save a few bucks on benefits.
No, the song and dance of it. Yeah, no, I worked for a company in downtown Chicago, and yeah, I got half day Wednesdays, but it also meant didn't get any benefits.
Yep, that was every job I ever had. I've never had benefits. Period. Like the job I had before I quit and went full time working for myself, they worked me 36 hours exactly every week. They worked me as much as they possibly could without legally being required to give me benefits. And it sucked so much ass.
Yeah.
No, I'm just.
No, these are artists too. Like,
yeah,
they're creatives, you know, and they something we talked about a lot during the whole Blizzard scandal was just comfort in your own cubicle, you know, feeling like you can space out, that you can imagine and make something fun.
Yeah, it's just, I'm just tired of it, man. I got so many stories like that from friends of mine, you know, that I graduated art school with, that like went and worked for their dream companies, you know, and just to get drug along, never made employee official, never get a day of, you know, medical coverage of their lives. This, and like you name a company you've watched a movie of, or you've watched a video, or you played a video game of, I've got a friend who's got a story like that working for them. It's just, it's gross. It's tired. Tired and angry.
We didn't do this article that I did find kind of interesting of the what RPGs should steal from Expedition 33, but we haven't played Expedition 33. And ultimately, I walked away with, wait, they didn't say music, and all I've heard about is the music.
That's because we both follow Marco.
Well, but also, I think it can elevate anything. Like, it can, it's an insane thing. You know, look at John Williams.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know the joke I always make. That's like saying a politician saying I'm for the children. Like, music kicks ass.
Yeah, music kicks ass. Yeah,
music can absolutely make or break something.
Absolutely.
100%. Catching up here. Let's see. Jesus Christ, 3 years. Morning, back from Anime Expo and super tired. Looked like a good time.
It did look like you look like you were in your element.
One of those.
That looked like a blast.
I should go to one of those. I watched Iron Mouse get taken shopping by Connor. That's what I watched from the Anime Expo. It was very entertaining. That's what I drank my morning coffee yesterday, watching Iron Mouse go on an Anime Expo shopping spree. Extremely heartwarming. Zico earlier, super. Morning, everyone. I did not place in my painting competition this time. My next piece will be a Saturnine Dreadnought that I showed Garrett. Oh, well, good luck, man. I'm sorry you didn't place.
No, I mean, that means the competition's stacked. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because you do some good stuff down there. I am personally impressed by what you paint in the channel.
Yeah, you got some skills, dude. Absolutely got some skills. Yes, cinnamon roll, Peepad, exactly. Matter of fact, Katie has now, she went this year, man, dude, she went from like the least online person to us being in the Mitsukoshi store in the Japanese pavilion at Epcot. She sees the cinnamon roll and she just goes, "We got to pay the mouse tax," which is a joke from Sea Dog streams, because anytime he sees a cinnamon roll, he has to buy it and mail it to Iron Mouse. It's the rules. And I just sat there stunned for a second that Katie that quickly made that online of a joke.
It's this weird bunny thing from Hello Kitty.
Yeah, it's a Sanrio character. Super cute.
What's Sanrio?
Sanrio is the company that owns Hello Kitty. How do you not know this?
Because I ain't got no crystal ball, right? Isn't that Sanrio?
That's
he had $1,000. I spent them all.
Sublime song about Santeria.
Oh,
which
okay.
Is a religion.
Oh, yeah. I get so confused sometimes.
Yeah. My God, Kyle. I ain't got no Santeria. I ain't got my cinnamon roll. I had a Bats Maru, but
so it's
Jesus Christ.
but it's transcended. Like Hello Kitty, it's broken out of containment and it's now dressed up as Demon Slayers, and it's basically a funk pop kind of character.
What? That's what Sanrio characters look like. They've not been Funko Popified.
No. I'm saying like Cinnamon Roll dresses up as other characters now and has broken free of Hello Kitty containment.
Yes. 100%. I don't know. You're just like I think of you as the weeb between the two of us. So I'm surprised that I am more up to date on Sanrio than you are.
I mean, you've been watching the content, right? Also, did they make...
but no, I mean, I knew about Sanrio beforehand just because that's who makes Hello Kitty.
Why did a game, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, come out in 2023 when the World of Warcraft episode of South Park said Butters was going to go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure?
Well, it didn't exist back then, and it was a joke on South Park, but it is a real game, and it exists now.
Yeah, but did they not fact check that? Did they want that to happen? Did someone embrace that joke? Did someone love Butters over there?
Embracing the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm assuming they embraced that joke. I didn't go any deeper than that. If you find out, I'm actually curious, Kyle. Feel free to report back on that.
Very good. Permission for the first report back of the day. Excellent.
Beatrix, thanks for the 25 months. I feel the pain of switching to USB-C. I know it's easy to get new cables, but I am notoriously lazy. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. No duh. I agree with anyone who's like, just buy a new cable. Yes. It was more, I had so many of the iPhone cables at this point that I was never without one. I didn't have to think about. They lived everywhere. I had one in every glove box. I had one in every single bag and every backpack and every suitcase I owned. So anywhere I was, I had a charger. And that is not the case with USB-C. I think I had 2 USB-Cs total before the switch on iPhone. I had one for my Xbox Elite controller and the one that came with my Switch 1. Did it even come with my Switch 1 or did that come with?
No, that was my Pro controller. You shouldn't use any USB-C, but yes, the bottom was a USB-C.
Yeah. I also feel like, I don't know, either some people are kind of missing, like I've mostly mentioned that it's a joke. I did find it annoying, and I understand that it's not the big picture. But also maybe I'm not picking up on the fact that some of y'all are also having fun with me.
Well, yeah, it's this happens often. There are often arguments that happen on the internet that are very easy to have opinions about because they're so simple and often one-sided. And then people get into fights about how one-sided it should be.
Oh, well.
I think you made a fine point that it was that sometimes it's an inconvenience for you.
It actually inconvenienced me more. Inconvenienced me more. Pins and Needles generously supered earlier. Hey all, first live since back from a very good holiday to South Africa. Throws a baby elephant with a trunk full of money. Hell
wow,
yes.
Nice.
Hell yes. We will return the baby elephant. They are protected, but we will keep the money. Thank you, Pins and Needles.
I hope you had a good time.
Thank you very much. Never been. I hear it's gorgeous. And after watching that penguin documentary, I want to go and see the penguins. Did you watch the penguin documentary?
Was there a new one?
Narrated by Patton Oswalt.
Patton
It was back during COVID.
Oh, Patton Oswalt, the Ratatouille fame?
Patton Oswalt of Ratatouille and also just being a stand-up comedian fame, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That Patton Oswalt, yes. The only Patton Oswalt.
I was just making sure I had the right one.
If you have a neighbor named Patton Oswalt, I'm definitely not talking about him. Oh no, Jorge, super layoff gang fall down. Oh no. GG lore, Jorge tends to super some sort of gang and then rise up. And so that's the joke.
Yeah. Oh, good use of it.
Vernacular Ham super, this Xbox layoff is all about freeing up money for AI. I won't get into that, but let's just say, regardless of your opinion on it, in the long run, AI has been very expensive to run for them.
There are dumbass things said by the company following that action that I won't get into either.
Mir said, hour late, catching up at 1.25 speed. Thanks for the slightly hyperactive energy as a result.
Sure. Catch up. Yeah.
That's how you know it's good. And then we get to the Cheesecake
The
Club,
Cheesecake,
considering comprised of Eric H., CJ, Ferris, Sarathi.
Everyone just sitting on it waiting.
and Zafoto. That's the Cheesecake Club. Gemstones was so excited about Cheesecake that they re-upped their membership. Kotar supered. I'm a couple minutes behind, but I was ringing the new year with a last word instead of champagne. Feels a bit more thematic. I want to like a last word so much. I'm not a huge fan.
What's the last word?
It's a cocktail.
Oh, cocktail.
I struggle with maraschino liqueur. I'm not a big fan of it, which stinks because I like everything else. I love gin. I love chartreuse, but just something about maraschino. Can't do it. Imarashi super Lugia also gets another game on the GameCube. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, we're getting schooled on Pokemon now. DOS Super Scarlet and Violet are the most recent mainline guys. Okay, I must have been looking at an old list.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got GameCube
It's
here.
what everyone's mad about, right? Because it's like really ugly.
Gale of Darkness. Oh, the big one with the motorcycle Pokemon? That one?
Is that? Oh, he is a motorcycle. What the shit? Why?
Because you would turn them into motorcycles so you can move about the open world.
Oh, that's
at speed.
But what if you just flew on the Pokemon that could fly?
Well, I don't. It really kind of.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
No, it was super weird.
I do not care for that.
It just kind of.
Yeah, they just have a tire in their chest. That's. Oh, I don't. Oh, that really irks me.
Yeah, but it's.
These starters are cute as shit, though. Oh my god.
But it's safe,
like
Pokemon as a kids, it'll be safe for my kids. I buy the Pokemon. I don't think about it, but think about it. I see that and I just see an awful motorcycle. I don't want my kids riding. This is freaking dumb.
Okay, sure. Why not? It doesn't look terrible. What game am I thinking of? I thought everyone was mad about the most recent Pokemon game.
You're not thinking of the drama that they're making a good-looking game, right?
Well, I that came out of that, right? I mean, I guess it does look like just a little phoned in, but it's not hideous.
And then they had I think they showed off a Switch 2 update for it. It looked passable, but still not good.
I still just really want them to do actually inject some style into a Pokemon game and do like the old watercolor spot illustration look for a 3D Pokemon
that'd
game.
be cool. Yeah. I don't know how that would manifest.
Well, there's been some fan projects in like Unreal Engine, like, as people do. They're just like, oh, this is what I wish Pokemon would look like. And then it goes viral on TikTok. And 9.9 times out of 10, I'm like, man, the amount of times I've seen like an Unreal Ocarina of Time, and I'm like, you unrealed it too much. You've taken all the charm out of it. There's no style.
What if Sonic was in the Unreal Engine?
Somebody did that and made like a 3D Gen 1 Pokemon, like running around Pallet Town, and it had that watercolor look. And it looks goddamn incredible, and I want a game like that now.
I think when so many times when you apply the medium of anime to a video game, it just looks cheap because you don't add the other trappings of what that meant in the first place. And I think that's what Persona does so well. So I am not a graphic designer, but I feel like taking Pokemon and making it look better or adding that style you're talking about is a cool idea, but you would have to have the entire thing embrace that, with the motion of the menus, because you spend so much time in menus. Like the menus would have to be artistic, kind of like Yoshi Yarn World, was it? I think of one of my favorite games ever, Yoshi Story, had a great style to it, but
is that Epic Yarn?
I think Epic Yarn, right? Or Kirby games tend to have some pretty cool ideas, but then they do that recent one where he eats a car, and that one was kind of like hyper realistic in a weird way.
I think that's what I'm gonna do, man. I think I'm gonna play an old Pokemon while you're gone.
It sounds cozy.
I'm gonna catch up on Gen 2. I'm gonna get really timely with it. I'm gonna see what Gen 2 is all about.
Start the journey.
Yeah. Gabgano, 32 months. Pokemon generations are generally broken up by the systems they come out on. Gen 3, i.e. Gen 3 is Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, and Leaf Green on the GBA. I thought it was the number of the Pokemon. Is that right? I've never once heard it explained that way.
Oh yeah.
I thought the gen was like number go up. That's a new gen.
Oh yeah, I thought that was the gen. Yeah, I thought that too. If that's incorrect, then
Yeah. Huh.
Heart Gold or Soul
Gen
Silver.
2 Pokemon.
Heart Gold,
remakes
Soul
are
Silver.
part of Gen 3.
So did they? But even the first, I guess, did the generation switch never happen in the first place? Was there any Pokemon added while it was still on Game Boy?
Yeah. Gold and Silver, the ones I'm thinking about playing, were Game Boy games.
And there was new Pokemon of those because they're right there on the covers.
Yes.
Okay.
When I look up a list of Gen 2 Pokemon, it begins with Chikorita, which is next in line after Mew. So that makes me think I'm right.
Oh, do they maintain the numbering order?
Yeah, Chikorita is number 152. Game Boy Color, though?
Well, wait.
Oh, now we're just splitting hairs.
Wait, but didn't Game Boy Color... Game Boy Color, these worked in Game Boy Color, but just turned the screen red or blue. Because I remember my friend had a Game Boy Color.
Yes.
I put mine in too.
Yes.
Oh, that was weak. Let's go Eevee. Let's go Pikachu.
Yeah, let's see. It goes from number 152 to 251. So 99 new Pokemon? Oh, I figured they did another 150.
Wait, so Crystal version was just the latest in the Golden series. Okay. I remember.
Yeah, I don't really think about Game Boy Color as a new generation of handheld, even though there were technically games that could only play on Game Boy Color.
I did
So
like
maybe I should. That's on me.
What was the clamshell one? That was a great Game Boy. I love that thing.
That was Game Boy Advance SP, which is my favorite one. I still have mine and it still works.
Yeah, mine still works too. So that was a Game Boy Advanced.
It was Game Boy Advance, and I don't think you count SP as a new gen. It was just a different model. It'd be like a Switch OLED. Still a Switch 1 at the end of the day.
And then
someone make a chart and make it show it to them later. Yes, that would be great.
And then 3D, why is there so much when you talk to Nintendo fans, you talk about games, if you say 3DS or DS, you immediately get corrected. Why is that?
They are different generations of handhelds.
They are?
The 3DS is more powerful than a DS.
Like you can still play the same games, smaller load screens kind of way, or was it actually like a whole different, you can't even play games?
There were 3DS only games that would only run on a 3DS.
Okay.
I think. Now you got me. I wasn't expecting to have this conversation, so I haven't freshened myself up.
I'm just shocked at how many Pokemons because I totally missed it.
Can a DS play 3DS games? No. Okay. Well, that's easy enough.
Oh, okay.
3DS can play DS games, but DS can't play 3DS games.
Okay.
Kind of like the Game Boy Color concern.
Right. It couldn't play the Game Boy Color. Could it not? It wouldn't just produce a black and white version of a Game Boy Color game?
Not if it was listed as for Game Boy Color.
Oh.
So a old Game Boy couldn't play Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Because the Game Boy Color was more advanced?
I guess. I never thought of it because I always thought the graphics were kind of ass.
Yeah, like they're just being extra but
I didn't care because the games were good.
Bit of code in there that would just say, turn this blue.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh. Well, I'm going to go down a Pokemon rabbit hole.
Okay. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. There it is. Zico supered also last Thursday. I got a massive $100 worth of sprues from a guy trying to recycle all this stuff. I got half of the collection, and the store manager got the other half.
I saw your picture on Discord. What?
Cool.
Where were you at to receive such luck of just someone being like, "I'm throwing away models," or were there no models in there? Where they were just the spurs? Is that what spurs mean? The models already removed from them? So what, you're gonna use them for decorating? Like cutting them up and making terrain or something like that?
Oh my God.
What?
Original Game Boy can play Pokemon Gold, so now I'm once again confused. But it said it was a Game Boy Color game. But I'm literally looking at it being run on an original green screen Game Boy. This entire conversation has just confused me further, chat. Chat's gaslighting me, Kyle. Chat's gaslighting me. I'm being gaslighted.
Wait. Oh, about Pokemon?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm too busy learning that it's technically sprues. I always heard it's spurs, and I was like, yeah, because they're sharp.
What?
Yeah, they're kind of sharp when you're done with them.
You really need to start saying things out loud in front of other people.
Well, the thing is, I don't have anyone to talk to a lot about this stuff.
It's sprues.
Why?
Because that's what it's literally called. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
That's like asking, why is a car called a car? Well, that's its name. Kyle.
Sometimes things have origins, Why is it called sprues? Bronze casting. Oh, it's the channel from which the liquid material pours down into the mold by. That's a very old word. Oh, wait, hang on. Sprue versus Oh wait, yeah, never mind. That didn't back me up.
Wait,
That
hold on, I'm not gonna
information
read
it
that out
doesn't
loud.
support me.
It's detrimental to my argument. KLG Chaos, thanks for the 35 months. Said Iron Mouse and Connor are always fun. Mouse's story always gets me, and seeing how far she's come is awesome. Also has an incredible singing voice. Agreed, 100% KLG.
I've heard the tale.
Yep. It's pretty sick. I was also like, years ago when I first heard VTuber, I was extremely dismissive. I was just like, why would I? Huh? Why? Why would I be into this? And then saw a couple mouse videos, and I was just like, she's hysterical. I get the appeal.
Yeah. There's a freeing quality to it.
Yeah. Don's super. Oh, also 3 years in a row to have Centrea VTuber step on me, and I'll send the clip. Oh, well, you know what you like, Das. You know what you like.
I think 3 years running, I'm gonna ask how. But send the clip and I'll know.
Oh, we're missing out on big bucks, man. We could sell virtual feet. Yeah, robotic feet that can be controlled avatar wise.
No, yeah, there's options.
Yeah. Bane Super. The issue with Scarlet Violet on Switch is that it barely ran at 30 FPS, which is just plain sad. Oh,
yeah, that was a lot of the reviews at the time.
Based on how it looked, I'm surprised because it didn't look that impressive.
No, it didn't, and that's
like
what made it all the more alarming.
Graphical powerhouse. It's just like a very bog standard 3D environment. Interesting. I don't know how I can not know everything about everything. I'm sorry, I'm not perfect, Jen. I'm so sorry. Imarashi, thanks for the super. Want a wild Yoshi game, Kyle? Check out Yoshi Topsy Turvy on Game Boy Advance. That was an idea that I never saw coming. Yoshi Topsy. I don't even remember this.
Survey. Is it like that weird? Wait. Did they do this more than once? No, wait, hang on. What's going on? I never even heard of this.
Oh, does this have a built-in accelerometer?
Oh, did you roll it? What is
the
with
cartridge is a weird shape, so that makes me think there's something extra in the cartridge.
Why did Nintendo think we wanted to roll things so often? Yeah, this looks like like you tilt the game. Wait, what? Yoshi's Universal Gravitation is what it was known as in Japan.
I love literal translation.
Wait, that's the European. It released in Europe under Yoshi's Universal Gravitation. And for America, they're like, they're not going to get that. Yoshi's Topsy Turvy. It was built with a built-in sensor that can manipulate the game's environment. By tilting the Game Boy Advance left or right, the player could tilt the game arena.
Interesting.
It was reviewed very mediocre.
What a ringing endorsement.
Wow. I'm after going through the Wii, I'm shocked. Everybody wants to put extra effort into playing video games.
Yeah. Super Silver and Gold Age are Gen 2. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are not. Those are Gen 4. If anything, I can make a flow chart. You've already sent me a flow chart that's in my DMs, or you found one. And yeah, wow, that annoys me.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is divided up by console.
Is that like
like red, blue, yellow, Gen 1, gold, silver, crystal, Gen 2, ruby, sapphire, emerald, fire, red, leaf green, Gen 3. That annoys me because then you say Gen 3 and that doesn't omit the original 151 because of the ruby and leaf releases. To me, like Gen should zero in on a specific range of Pokemon.
I mean, it does
not include a range outside of it.
I don't see
And then it
anything
also
here.
gets complicated in 4 because they re-released Gold and Silver.
Oh yeah. Well, did they put new Pokemon in it? Or was it just a re-release?
Well, a lot of times when they do that, like well, actually, I have no idea. No, because Leaf Green and Fire Red didn't include anything outside of the original 151.
Okay.
Like it didn't have Gold and Silver Pokemon in it.
I mean, but otherwise it does work out to be, year-based. So it kind of fulfills what you want it to. It's just...
My understanding is it opened up the ability of trading. I don't think you...
Trading?
Now this I don't know 100%. I assumed you couldn't trade from the Game Boy games to the Game Boy Advance games. But maybe you could.
Why is everyone posted in the post game? What? What's a post game?
If you beat the Elite Four. They put more Pokemon in it. Oh, I didn't know that. I've replayed Fire Red a bunch, but I usually just stop after I catch Mewtwo.
That's content. That's cute.
Yeah, that's actually kind of sick. Shit,
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
gonna get
fine
back
way
to
to
my
do
Fire
it.
Red playthrough. I didn't know that.
Huh.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
you know what I should do? You know what I should do? Well, wait, hold on. Is it Gold and Silver Pokemon that are in Fire Red and Leaf Green, or is it Ruby and Sapphire Pokemon that are in Fire Red and Leaf Green? The Gen 3 or Gen 2? God damn it. Sorry, I'm learning, folks. Help! Sorry, my Pokemon vocabulary is growing before your very eyes. Can you launder them through Pokemon Stadium? Oh, I remember. Yeah, there were some kind of weird tricks with Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, because you could use Pokemon Stadium to communicate with the other games.
I think
that's
so.
interesting. Huh.
Oh, both, all three. Okay. So what I should do, Kyle, is beat Gold or Silver, and then I should beat Ruby or Sapphire, and then I should return to Fire Red because I have a playthrough going, and then get to Endgame and enjoy the fruits of.
Because
look at these extra Pokemon involved.
Because you could then trade your Pokemon to yourself because you've now unlocked those other Pokemon.
No, I'm just saying, like, why continue my Fire Red and see a bunch of Pokemon I've never seen before when I can go meet them in their actual.
You can go, get introduced to them in the
releases.
actual woods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Why didn't I ever see Platinum? That's my question. Platinum looks sick. Look at that. Look at this crazy freaking centipede monster.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Platinum, 2009. Never heard of Platinum.
What is Platinum? Is that the yellow to Diamond Pearl? I bet you that is the yellow to Diamond Pearl.
Yeah, there seems to be sort of a middle column here of like released 2 years later as some sort of maybe updated version. And but here's black 2 and white 2. But those came out a year later.
Yes. They were direct sequels to black and white. Okay, what I'm learning, chat, is that I'm going to need to invite somebody on who knows Pokemon that can learn me good before I embark on this. So if anyone has a Pokemon content creator that you think will actually return my emails.
Isn't too busy playing Pokemon themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to get schooled on this. Oh, that sounds fun. Oh, man, I'm getting kind of hyped about this. Also, if there's a Gold and Silver remake, I'll probably just play the remakes because I love Red and Blue and Yellow, but holy shit, Fire Red and Leaf Green look so much better while still being intensely nostalgic because it's still pixel art. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they do. Oh, yeah.
Is Joe Cat super knowledgeable about Pokemon? I didn't know that. Let me talk to Joe again.
Has approximate knowledge of many things.
Oh my goodness. Das, thanks for the double supers. Silver and Gold, or Gen 2, Heart Gold, Soul Silver or not. Those are Gen 4. Platinum is my favorite game. The title Pokemon you see is Giratina, Pokemon Satan, my favorite legendary. Okay.
I mean, it
Just
does
invite me.
It does look pretty good. Like that actually does kind of like that looks how my memory makes them look. I'm a fan of that.
Oh, have you never played it?
No.
So you legally purchase a copy and then install the emulator on your phone. It's wonderful.
Game Boy. Oh, does it come with
Absolutely
like speed ups and auto battles or anything like that? Like a pixel remaster?
No, it's just I'm assuming you're not carrying around a Game Boy with you.
Yeah. I don't need more. I don't need more electronics in my pocket.
Yeah, I've got a emulator on my phone of. It's basically just the Fire Red app. That's the only thing I ever play when I launch it. So, well, sick everybody. Well, I'm gonna go get this podcast posted. That's what I'm gonna go do.
We're gonna go schedule out the week
tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, for a stream of many things. Gonna do some Mog Tome event and
see what those
probably
are
some
about.
Occult Crescent leveling. Maybe?
Probably.
See
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
See how we're feeling tomorrow.
Where the whimsy takes us.
See how we feel tomorrow. And then can we talk about Thursday real quick, Kyle?
Yes. Slight schedule change, but also awesome schedule change. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, we looked into how much we have left of FF2 and decided we should just do it all on Thursday in one big mega stream.
Big giant marathon Thursday thing.
So Thursday morning we'll be firing up the stream and just playing until we beat it.
Whenever that is.
Long FF2 day.
Yeah.
Thursday.
A big old day.
Video release on Wednesday.
Video release. So we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.
GG, y'all. See you tomorrow.
We're back. We missed Rogue Mage's Super. It says. That's why you don't leave as soon as it's over, because we're already back. It says Scarlet and Violet introduced a new Pokemon. Tink-Tacken?
I found it. I can help you now.
Okay. Oh my god.
Tinkaton,
Okay.
whose sole purpose in the Pokemon ecosystem is to shoot down flying Pokemon and diegetically justify not having flight in the open world. Okay.
Excellent.
So they went WoW expansion on flight.
We did it. Thank you, Rogue Mage.
Tinkaton has a giant hammer. How is that shooting down?
Shooting down? Maybe they
Seems
jump.
like a very poor weapon to deal with flight.
Maybe they jump. Oh, it knocks off. So it's about knocking the rider off. Maybe. Special hammer. The hammer seems it's a magical hammer. Don't worry about it. All right. Bye, everybody.
I'm so confused.
Wait, Eric H. Thank you. Thank you. Bye for real now. Bye, everybody. Stop watching now. Bye.